taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
Feel free, and I just wanna be me. Yeah, I just wanna go so crazy. I just wanna be a freak. Yeah, I just wanna rise to the top. Yeah, I just wanna go reach the peak. So I've been really well focused on success. Hey, y'all will see. Yeah, you won't see that I will get it, 'cause I'm really focused, man. I make it with the rap and I just follow my path. I just follow my passion. To me, this is what's precious. Yeah, in my soul, man, I can feel it. So every single verse, man, I just gotta go and kill it, man. I gotta be the kid. I could be the guy taking you wild. I could be the villain, but that is okay. Lately I'm painting my path on my way. Yeah, I got no time that I can waste. So I've been sitting in the space. Yeah, making rest every day, man. You know that I go insane. Yeah, I hit you with a bullet to the brain. Let us stop first, 'cause we going and going insane. You don't know what I'm gonna do. You don't know what is next. And I'm loving the fact, truly it's making me blessed. 'Cause I work on my team, no snakes in the grass. And we have a trust in the wind because of the work that we did in the past. Because of the work that we did in the past. When we went to hours, we barely got rest. So I get the realm and we didn't finesse. So I got the feelings that we might be next. 'Cause when we go in, we win in the match. When we go in, we win in the match. So that's how we do, 'cause we be the best. We be the best, best. Yeah, we be the best. Whoa. Yeah, we be the best, we be the best, hey. Yeah, we be the best, hey. We be the best, yo. You wanna come come and test? Whoa, you want to see we the best, hey. You don't see that we're the best, yeah, so I suggest you never really come and test it. But otherwise, I will smack your face like Michael Jordan does with a ball in the basket. Oh, damn kid, but you didn't expect it. You never really thought that this could just happen. But now really come on and we pull out with the action. Cause people defeat, those they don't get it like.
Baby, it's whatever. All this ever, but you long gone, it don't matter. Ride or die, that's been the deal. The light of your back, I disappear. But if you don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. And no man to tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, of my shoulder. Done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need a no tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, of my shoulder. Done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need a no man.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Vespertine Vantage Cup, Season 1 Iron 2, sorry, Platinum Challenger. Tonight you'll be welcoming both me, my name is Draz, and I'm also the founder of Team Vespertine here, and then also Fuzz. He's casted for us previously. I'm sure you all love his familiar face, and he's a very handsome get up tonight.
Happy to be back. Happy to be back. Excited to see the lineups tonight. We've got a lot of really, really exciting teams to watch here. Gonna actually give us a run through about what the brackets are like tonight?
Yeah, so with tonight we've got quite a few teams coming up. So we've got 3 games going. The first game up, we'll be looking at Weeknight Warriors versus Valkyrie Valhalla. So it's gonna be the first game. I would say here, and without giving any favorites myself, but straight off the bat, I'd say the favorites here are more than likely going to be Weeknight Warriors. They definitely have some pretty notable names in the scene. I'm excited to see how they get into it, but also at the same time, I haven't seen a whole lot from Valkyrie, so I'm also excited to see it, and I want to see what they can bring to the table, and I'm hoping they give us a really, really exciting performance as well.
Absolutely. Our team being new to the esports community, obviously some of our players are familiar with these teams and they understand what we understand what we'll be seeing tonight in terms of performance. However, I'm quite new to the esports industry, so I'm very excited to see a lot of these teams play. It'll be my first time seeing them, so some notable ones, like Draz just said, Valkyrie, Valkyrie's Valhalla. I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. And it just looks like a really exciting matchup lineups tonight. So
Yeah, so we
we'll
got
see
that
how
for
it
game
goes.
one. Moving forward, just give me a cross check here. All right, sorry about that technical difficulty there. Yeah, so moving forward, we've got a couple of good teams. Okay, yeah. So first game we'll have Massive MT1 versus Hot Pot Buffet. I'd say going off what I've seen here, Massive's going to be the favorites for that one. And then moving forward again, Avalanche Blue versus C9 Krug Academy Superstars. So yet again, I'd say Avalanche being probably the favorites for that one. Either way, we're really excited to see what teams can bring to the table. And with that being said, we love a dark horse. We love a team coming out of nowhere and upsetting the favorite. So it'd be awesome to see. But with that being said, we are going to look to get into this first game. So give us a really brief period here where we're going to switch to our intermission screen, and we'll be back with the champ select shortly.
Absolutely. We are on a time crunch. We'll see you all very shortly.
Watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate, levitate. Watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Kill my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Kill my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Gone somewhere and dyed my hair now. Wanna be alone. It's much to bear and you don't care, and I won't play alone. I got you in my sight. I keep all of what you said to me. I get you, get you, get you, get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, get you, get you. Now you'll beg me, please. Hey. Now I stay away. You were never meant to save me. Now I stay away. I don't hear you say you're sorry. Hate I even loved you. Hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you. Hate I kinda fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you. Hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you. Hate I kinda fell
Alright, going in live. Okay, hello there guys. Oh, that's a small issue on stream. Give us 2 seconds for that one. Alright, so we're having a small technical difficulty there. No worries guys, we've got a backup plan here. We'll switch into champ selective here. So we've already jumped into champ select. Sorry about that guys, it was a very quick start. As you can see with the ban so far, we've got a Diana and a Lucian ban coming over from left side over here, which is going to be Valkyrie. And then on the right side, we've got a ban of Twitch and Lulu. So it'll be very interesting to see what kind of team comps these teams plan to go for. What's your thoughts on the ban so far, Fuzz?
Well, yeah, I mean, Twitch Lulu as a bot lane, pretty standard, you know, stomp of a bot lane, in my opinion. You know, there's not much in my, like, that I've seen over my years of playing League that really beats out Twitch Lulu, especially late game. It's just an absolute nightmare for most teams to deal with once it scales up into the late game. But as for everything else, you know, the Diana ban, I am 100% down with, you know, like, I think Diana has to be one of the strongest junglers on this patch, and has been for, you know, quite a while, most of the season, actually. You know, Ari gaining popularity after her rework, it seems all pretty standard to me.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. Like, the Diana ban is quite a solid one, especially if they've got a team that can kind of work around that, and it's kind of part of the playstyle. Something they don't want to, especially if they don't have any experience versing this team, which I'm sure they may have, but it's got the kind of pick you really don't want them to just take and run with. We've got the Wukong pick here, which is quite an interesting one actually, because it can be flex pick between the top lane and then also with the jungle.
Yeah, so absolutely. With the rework on Wukong, with his W being able to go over walls, made him so much more viable in the jungle, actually being able to get those tricky gank paths down. It gives him a lot more variety as a champion, which I think he needed, because his play rate was just abysmal at one point in time.
Yeah, and I mean, seeing these mid-hovers here is actually getting me really excited. Champs like Yasuo, there we go, and it's locked in, and that's not something I expected to see in the first game of this tournament, to be completely honest with you. It's not your standard go-to team play pick, unless you can kind of really pull it off. I have heard a little bit about Kaze myself. I apologize if I'm saying that name wrong. But yeah, I've heard a little bit about him myself. I do know that he can be quite solid in the mid lane, and I'm assuming that's going to be the Yasuo mid. It could be the ADC, but it'll be interesting to see where they go with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like, Yasuo, not typically a champion I see in many 5v5s or, you know, competitive environments. Like, it's typically seen a lot in solo queue, just because it's like a really snowbally pick. But if they can pull it off, I think it could definitely, you know, be rewarding for their team. It's going to be an absolute nightmare to stop it, especially with the lock-on knock-up from Nautilus.
Yeah, and I mean, if we look at Valhalla over here, and we look at their team comp, they're going for that kind of safer-based team comp with the champs like Ezreal being able to kind of peel himself, being quite a tanky ADC, and just having that like I said, that self-peel, that gap closer, or I guess that way to escape. And then also Karma as well, very solid bot lane. We've seen it a lot just in general throughout, I mean, all ELOs and throughout the tournament that we casted last two. It's a very solid go-to bot lane. And it looks like that might be the Yasuo mid with the Aphelios ADC, which I was expecting, but you just never know here. Very aggressive team comp coming forward from Weeknight Warriors over here. I'm excited to see this one in action.
So they're very AD heavy, so hopefully that Wukong is the top laner, because I would hate for that team to be drafted into something like a Malphite. You know, if Valkyrie comes out with a Malphite pick here, it could be very, very dire for Team Weeknight here.
Yeah.
So the Aurelia ban coming through.
Yeah, so the Aurelia ban's quite an interesting one. I personally don't think that Valkyrie is in a position to take that Aurelia. I think it's too risky of a pick based on what they've been going with the rest of their team comp. I would have expected, or I am still expecting them to play something a little bit safer and maybe go for a bit more of a scaling kind of ordeal. I mean, it would have been nice to see a carry come out, and it would still be nice to see a carry-based champ come out with those flashy plays. But so far, it'll be interesting to see what they're doing with this.
Well, it looks like, you know, I actually don't see Aurelia being too much of a problem for Weeknight with the lineup that they have. So maybe there's something else that we don't know here. Maybe someone on Valkyrie is like maybe renowned for their Aurelia, but again, we'll have to wait and see. We see the last band coming out from Weeknight here being Gwen, so it's looking like an interesting game so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, they're banning out those crucial top lane picks specifically, so I wonder if they are maybe worried about this top lane. They obviously are expecting this Wukong to be jungle based on the fact that they have banned. I mean, of course, Aurelia can be considered a mid laner as well, but it looks like they're maybe targeting that top lane, and then they're going to pull out the jungle pick here.
Yeah, it looks like Weeknight looking to pick maybe strong side top lane with all the bans directed towards top lane. Ooh, Camille pick. Oh,
there we go.
I love that champion. I love seeing that champion. I'm not biased towards it whatsoever, but now we know that Wukong is in fact in the jungle. I'm really, really excited to see Camille.
Yeah, I mean, Fuzz is a little bit of a Camille connoisseur himself, so I'm sure he'll be breaking down that pick, especially once we get into game. We also see the Lee Sin pick coming in. Quite a standard kind of aggressive early game, high tempo jungler. Can provide a lot to the team, and especially based on the picks that they've already got, it makes perfect sense.
Silas pick coming out from Valkyrie here. Lots of good ults for him to steal, actually. I do see it working out quite well. And a Xerath pick. Vex.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they go for here. The Vex I wouldn't mind seeing. I do like the Vex, especially with the aggression, with the Lee Sin running around the map. And Vex just kind of being that kind of enabler champ that can just get the rest of the lanes ahead. That being said, it looks like we're getting a Vex top lane.
No,
I would imagine it's Vex mid lane, but the swaps here are getting me just a little bit confused. I'm sure we'll see when we get into it. And then
throwing us for a loop. The
yeah.
Vex Camille top lane matchup is something I haven't yet seen, so this could be this could be a very interesting game indeed.
This might be a new one for you. Maybe one to write down on the ban list in solo queue so you don't run into the Vex next time. But with that being said, we are going to move into our 3-minute intermission while we wait for the games to get started. So we will be back shortly. Do you have anything to add to that one, Fuzz?
Yeah, I'm hoping that Vex top lane fails because I really don't want to see it in my solo queue games. That's all I have to add so far. Let's go into the intermission.
Awesome. All right, we'll see you guys shortly.
I know that you're afraid, it feels like every day things are slipping away, you're slipping away, and you think back to a time that you were lost. Thoughts disorganized, can't seem to dry your eyes, and chaos is collapsing from your mind. And you say that you're fine, but now you're out of time, out of time, you're out of time, you're out of time, and now you're out of time. Now you're out of time. Never measure up, you'll never be enough. People say tough love, you should just suck it up. And you think back to a time that you were lost. Thoughts disorganized, can't seem to dry your eyes, and chaos is collapsing from your mind. And you say that you're fine, but now you're out of time, out of time, You don't know what goes on behind these eyes. You don't know the loneliness hidden inside. You don't know I wanna eat you up alive. Come and get to know me, my type of wild. I'm the kind that spins you and hangs you dry. Well, I'm already on to another side. If you gave me your whole life, I would still have room for more. Cause I've got that appetite. Baby, I never feel whole. Though you might get me through the night, but it will never be enough. It will never be enough. Cause I'm a black girl for your love. Cause I'm a black girl for your love.
Okay, and we're live in game here. And so we see some action happening potentially down here with the Ezreal that may have been spotted, but I don't believe so. But here we go. This is going to be a very interesting one. I'm very excited here. And give us 2 seconds here while we fix up that little
So I've seen Valkyrie here getting some vision down in the topside jungle, you know, try to get some control, see if we can scout out where the enemy jungler is starting. And I think they have every reason to assume Lee Sin will be bot side. He hasn't shown at all. So
Sorry
we'll
about
see.
this, guys. Little technical difficulty. Sorry.
We will see what Wukong does with this information.
Okay. So with the Lee Sin starting on the blue here, I personally always like to start where my bot side is. It's just a better leash, and it kind of gives you that better start. That being said as well, Lee Sin honestly can start anywhere, and I'd love to see what his plan is starting here. We've also got Wukong who started down there. I'm actually, like I said earlier, a little bit surprised by the Wukong jungle myself. I don't know how well they're going to be able to use it with their comp. Wukong typically has some really good ganks, but then they've also gone for a little bit of a safer comp, besides the Camille top. I'd be interested to see if that's the win con. It did end up being the Yasuo top. I didn't see that switch, but I was also expecting that. We can see just a little bit of action in the bot lane, basic scuffling here.
Well, you know, in regards of the Wukong jungle, I think it does actually fit most of their comp quite well. They've gone for more of like a safe bot lane, but in terms of, you know, how fights are going to be played out, they have 3 melee champions with a Sylas, Camille, Wukong. It's going to be very brawly. They're going to want to try and get in onto the back line, onto the Aphelios, take them out of the fight. I think I definitely see potential for it to work well, especially with the Karma Mantra E engage.
Yep.
You know, I think there will be some pretty bloodthirsty fights coming out of this game. I'm quite excited for it. However, Ezreal, I feel like doesn't fit the comp quite as well as the other picks.
Yeah, I mean, that might have been a better way to put it. It was less so about the Wukong and more about the Ezreal. It's I know I definitely wouldn't be drafting kind of that. Oh, sorry about that. Let's get rid of that one. And we need to fix that one there. Sorry guys, basic technical difficulties. Okay. Yeah, so as we're saying with that there, I find that the Ezreal pick, it's definitely a safe one. Maybe they're very worried about this bot lane here. And maybe they just wanted to play that safe bot lane, get that top ahead. Like I said, the Camille with the Ignite top is going to be very detrimental to the gameplay, especially in the mid game if she gets those early kills and gets that advantage. That being said, I am very excited to see this top lane here. And sorry about this, guys. It's a directed camera, but not moving. We've got that one sorted now.
Yeah, well, I think it is safe to assume that Valkyrie is playing for the strong side top lane, you know, especially, as we said before, the bot lane. Oh, Lee Sin coming in for the gank here, lands the Q onto Sylas, that's the flash out, Warthog coming down from Lee Sin, flash from the Vex, tower dive ensuing, and Vex doesn't... Wow, she goes down. I did not expect the tower to do that much damage, but first blood goes over to Valkyrie, 1 kill on Sylas.
Yeah, so that was a very sloppy gank there. They had the flank onto Brattles over there, and I honestly would have expected that to be an easy kill without any issue. Unfortunately, now we've gotten both sums coming out from the Vex, which is really going to put K's behind, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do from that. That should have been a massive lead for them.
Knight coming down onto Karma. Karma goes down. Aphelios getting another kill, or getting the first kill, sorry, for Weak Knight. Lee Sin showing down here, making his presence known. With Wukong on the top side of the map, we'll see if they can make a cross-map play. It looks like they're looking for the dive. No, they are not. Okay, they're just scratching the way for Camille. Camille just wants that reset, but Yasuo is fighting. He's putting the pressure down, making it known that she can't actually do what she wants.
Yeah, and we've got the the 3-man down bot here coming in from Weeknight Warriors. They're really getting this aggression in here on the bot lane, and this is what...
See Ezreal taking huge damage. Aphelios may go down in this fight. No, he flashes to safety. Lee Sin comes in. Looks like Karma may go down again, but the Sylas TP was just too good. Wow.
Wow, they've really turned that one around, and we've got another fight happening in the top lane as well. All I can say is this is an extremely bloodthirsty game. It's very fun to watch here.
Extremely high tempo. Sylas picking up another kill here. It's looking really, really good for Valkyrie at this point in time. Sylas champion really needs those early kills to get going, and if he doesn't get them, he could fall flat on his face. So it's good to see he's getting ahead here. It's a good thing that's happening.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's 3-0 now, and we're about 6 minutes into the game. He's going to look to push that lead. He's going to look to get ahead. The Vex wants to obviously go to the sidelines with her ulti when she hits 6, but she may not be able to do that anymore, or at least she may find herself struggling. In the top lane here as well, quite an interesting back and forth matchup. Neither of them have died yet, so they're both kind of playing that nice and safe, but it has been quite bloodthirsty, honestly, all around the map here.
Yeah, Camille did go for the aggressive summoner spell option here, opting for no flash. She wanted that ignite TP kill pressure on the Yasuo. It doesn't look like that has actually been in her favor, though. It looks like Yasuo's been able to put down a lot of hurt onto her, and she hasn't been able to trade back, which is usually the case for Camille until she gets her Sheen. But perhaps there's just been some misplays going on in this top lane.
Yeah, and that's something that I was going to lead to asking to you. How do you find that matchup yourself? So playing the Camille into a Yasuo.
Well, you know, I think it needs to be taken with a grain of salt. You know, myself playing in, like, you know, gold, platinum, elo, the intricacies of each champion aren't completely explored, but in my personal experience, Camille usually wins that matchup and once she gets the Sheen. However, Yasuo does have quite a bit of damage early, especially with lethal tempo. Looks like heavy trading onto the Wukong here. Sylas here. Lee Sin R comes down. Vex coming in. Big 3-man fear. Any more kills to be had? It does not look like it. Camille will be coming out soon, so it looks like Vex is still in trouble. Yeah. Looks like she will be going down. Lee Sin may have killed himself as well. Yeah.
I think the big issue there was that the Vex was just out of mana. The play was initially looking very good there, but she just couldn't do a whole lot. She had enough for one ability, and it wasn't enough to get them out of that situation there.
Very sloppy sloppy players coming out of the jungle and mid from Weeknights here.
Yeah, and that's not what I was expecting coming into this. As we talked about favorites, I did say I found Weeknight probably to be the favorites, just from what I've seen, based on players, based on previous tournament experience. Valkyrie really, like we mentioned, with the Dark Horse kind of showing their colors, they really are showing that here at the start of the game, and it's going to be interesting to see how they carry that tempo through. They're currently sitting at a 1k gold advantage, and most of that more likely sitting on the Sylas. Vex is up in CS, so it's probably equaled out just a little bit there, but I would still say that this Sylas obviously ahead with his mythic already, and I really want to see him make more impact on the map and really just take this game home for Valkyrie.
Looks like Lee Sin taking the dragon now. They've shoved out mid lane. The wave is coming in now, but it looks like Sylas is rotating with the Wukong. They do know they have mid lane, bot lane prio, sorry. And it looks like it could turn into a bit of a 4v4 skirmish here. They don't have top lane TP on either side, so it'll be interesting to see how this fight goes. Vex R comes out, but Sylas hits nobody with it. Looks like they secure the dragon and they walk back to their respective lanes.
Yeah, and it's just Valkyrie pushing that lead further and further. I mean, that was a little bit of a messy one of the dragon. Valkyrie managed to secure the dragon there. Pretty standard. They've got the lead right now, so it's to be expected that they're going to kind of go for those early objectives. That being said, I will be very interesting to see how they start to play the map now that it's coming into that 10-minute mark, and see what starts to happen with that.
Looks like lots of nothing happening in the top lane. Looks like Yasuo continuously shoving these waves. Camille ease in but misses. Yeah, Yasuo looks like he's just trying to play it safe, keep the lane shoved in, and keep the opportunity for him to roam, you know, on the table.
Yeah, and we have the roam coming in from Silas just there, which, like I said, I want to see him impact the map. He's ahead. Vex is probably going to be playing quite safe in the 1v1 in the mid lane because of it, and he needs to be roaming around the map to make them plays. I do like the roam. Unfortunately, it didn't favor him. We've got a pause here, so we'll be finding out what's happening with that one shortly.
Yeah, well, I think we can expect from this point onwards there's going to be more skirmishes surrounding the top lane. Okay, we've
How to resume there. Now, there is a small replay issue here when there's a pause, which typically causes the game to stutter a little bit. So give us a second. We will attempt to get that one fixed.
You know, as I was saying before, Dragon has gone down at this point in time. It looks like there will be more plays happening around the top side of the map, with Herald being the only objective on the map at this point in time.
Alright, so it's going to keep giving us
Game really is stuttering a lot.
We will have to apologize for this one. It's unfortunately a very common issue with broadcasting when it comes to spectating the game. All we can
are coming down bot lane. Ezreal following up with his R. No one dropping quite yet. Lucen here looking for the dive. Nautilus Hook comes out. Misses completely. Looks like another kill going over to Valkyrie.
Awesome, and it looks like those difficulties are gone now, so we should be just back to the game like normal. We apologize for that one. Hopefully there won't be too many pauses throughout tonight, and hopefully we don't get any of those issues coming in. We are hearing the support crashed or DC'd, so that was the reason for that pause there.
Yeah, so we're heavy trading onto Camille in the top lane, but there is still yet a kill to be had in that lane that didn't involve jungle or roam.
Alright, it looks like we're getting a 3-man coming up top here. We've also got the Nautilus and Lee Sin trailing behind. I wonder if they're expecting this. The Nautilus looks to be heading mid, so potentially not. The Lee Sin is heading top though. This will be a very interesting skirmish coming up here.
Looks like Lee Sin just dies in this bush. Yep.
Yep.
No counterplay to that one. Okay, Camille are coming down onto Yasuo. He can't escape. Can they capitalize on this? Oh, he's flashing in. Kills the Camille. Vex are coming down. I doubt that she takes that, but still. There for moral support, I guess.
I am very impressed, like I said, by this Valkyrie roster here. They're doing an amazing job on the map. They've pushed that gold lead to 2k now, so double since we last mentioned that one. They look to be grabbing the Herald here as well, and honestly, like I said, in all, just very impressed here. I'm sure that Weeknight is aware that they're doing this Herald. I don't think there's anything they can do about it, so that's just going to be a Herald straight over to Valkyrie here.
Absolutely. Valkyrie just doing all they can to push that lead. Almost, well, exactly 2k gold up now at this point in time. Oh, yeah. 2k, 1.9, give or take. You know, it's going to be really hard for Weeknights to pull this back unless they can get some more gold onto Yasuo and Aphelios. Now, I think the scoreboard may be having an issue here. Oh, it looks like Ezreal dies. Okay. Looks like Nautilus has kind of walked at him and pressed R. Okay, Woodcon coming into the top lane. Okay, looks like the scoreboard is fixed. Awesome. Big ult coming down from Yasuo, but he cannot survive against 3 people.
Look, very nice attempts, but in all, Valkyrie's just playing the map a little bit better. The members are where they need to be, and we've got a fight here freaking out as well. Just a little skirmish. Members are where they need to be on the map. They're getting those kills because they're playing that map a little bit better, and it'll be interesting to see if they continue to run that throughout the rest of the game. But honestly, the tempo is looking like they may. The gold leads actually dropped to 1k after that skirmish, but I still think they've got the benefit here with the way they're playing the map.
Absolutely. I think there's no doubt in my mind that Valkyrie is, you know, has the upper hand in this situation. Looks like bot tower is going to go over to Weeknight though. Looks like their bot lane being a little bit stronger in the 2v2 than Valkyrie's.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Honestly, we said that earlier. The Ezreal wasn't really the pick for this comp, or at least not in our eyes. They did very clearly want to play with that weak side bot, although there were a lot of skirmishes coming down there. They focused more around the rest of the map. We've got Brattles in the mid, getting extremely ahead on that. On that Silas pick there. Camille not so doing too much, but I mean she's been there for the map. She's helped support her team, and it's definitely worked in their favor. It's just going to be a matter of, is this Aphelios just going to roll on top of this team in the later game?
Yeah, Camille's really just looking for that 2-3 item power spike here, so I can definitely understand why there haven't been, you know, too many plays around the top side of the map, you know, on Valkyrie's side. Oh, sorry. Rather on the bottom side of the map. From Valkyrie's side, you know, they're trying to get Camille ahead. They're trying to accelerate that 2-3 item power spike. Sorry, I got my lanes mixed up there.
No worries there. We'll definitely see the Camille coming online shortly, and we'd expect to see the tempo raise when that happens here. It looks like we've got Valkyrie going for the second dragon, and their second dragon of the game as well.
PP coming down, looks like the skirmish is about to ensue. Nautilus lands a hook onto the Karma. Karma flashes out. Looks like they're taking the dragon and making a break for it. They do not want this fight at the moment. Camille looks like she's going to take top tower here. Oh, she already has taken top tower here. Yeah, there it is. It goes down.
And the map's just continuing to be played, like we said. It's in their favor. They've taken the top tower. They split the map just a little bit. They still managed to secure the dragon. They're gonna have.
And there really is no reason for Valkyrie to take that fight there. You know, they already got the objective. All they can do is just walk out. Nautilus has committed suicide in the mid lane, unfortunately. You know, it happens. It happens to the best of us.
And without a doubt, it takes a lot of restraint to fall back from that fight there. I mean, you've just won the fight prior. You've gotten the dragon. You're ahead in gold, and you know that, of course. You're up in kills. You're up in dragons. You're up in... Oh, sorry, equal on towers. But you typically, obviously, want to run away with the game. It takes a lot of discipline to know not to take that fight, and they did. They fell back, and that's going to work in their favor, I'm sure. That fight potentially could have gone bad for them, and they're playing quite safe, but also playing quite disciplined here.
Can we just take a minute to talk about the Silas from Valkyrie's team? Absolutely beautiful play from him this game. It looks like, you know, no question, he's the MVP of this game thus far. He's been roaming around the map, making plays every single which way that he goes, and he hasn't died at all yet.
Yeah, and I mean,
flawless gameplay.
Same comes out with the Wukong. They've been roaming quite well together. Wukong's been not far behind whenever it comes to the roams on the Silas. They've played together well as a team, specifically in that top side of the jungle. A couple of players coming through bot lane. Obviously, like we said, Ezreal's died a couple of times, but not too big of a deal, and they've still managed to get the rest of the map in their favor.
You see, it looks like Aphelios from Weeknights is building a collector. I really don't know how I feel about this pick. You know, it's going to be two champions on Valkyrie, who's going to end up having quite a lot of armor towards the end of the game. You know, Camille and Wukong. I really don't like the collector pick. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but
yeah, the collector pick's not a favorite of mine. I mean, it works, especially into certain comps. Looking at this comp, I do have to agree with you. We've already got two plate of steel caps coming out. I can only imagine seeing more armor picked up, potentially even Sonia's from the Silas at some point. I'm not sure what the value is going to be on that one, especially with the lead he's already got. He could have potentially looked for another item and just pushed it. But he is up in CS. He has got that kill lead. He is quite a strong late game champion as well. It'll be interesting to see what Viper can do here in the late game on the Aphelios.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Valkyrie here moving into the bottom side jungle, trying to get a little bit of control, bully them out, steal that golden XP from Weeknights.
Well, that's what they want to do. They want to look to... I mean, I know we're only 17 minutes in, but they want to look to push this game into their favor as quick as they can, and they want to look to end it. Because, like we just mentioned, we don't want to see that Aphelios come online for Weeknights. We don't want to see the Astra come online. We don't want to get to the point where gold starts to equalize because we're that late in the game, and these later game picks from Weeknights start to come out and really just show what they can do. That's going to be an absolute nightmare for Valkyrie, and they don't want to throw away the advantage they've given themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Vex coming in, clearing some vision in the bot side. Valkyrie trying to get some control of the top side of the map now. Baron is spawning in a couple of minutes, so it would be good if they can get a little bit of vision down on the top side, maybe even force a pick or two. But it looks like right now they're just opting for the second Herald of the game. Vexar coming out from Silas. I doubt he makes that dive with Vex's fear being up, but definitely still just, you know, applying that pressure.
I can only imagine that was more than likely on the edge of being expired. We've got Valkyrie securing the second Herald. I'm sure they're probably going to look to use that in their favor, especially like you mentioned with the Baron coming up. They're going to want to push and break open this mid tower here, being about 18 minutes in, and there we go, they place it here. So that's going to give them a little bit more mid prior, give them a little bit more control, and given the opportunity, I'm sure they're going to look for the Baron as soon as possible as well, because like we mentioned, they want to close it out as soon as they can.
Like Herald being used in the mid lane, that mid lane tower goes down And then let's use his done. The TP in the back line. Oh my god. Okay, this is a really fast fight that's coming out here.
Alright, a lot of ults being thrown out there. The Yasuo on top of the Wukong. And it looks like it's going in Valkyrie's favor.
It's just death. It's just death. Everyone is dying. Everyone is dying. We need to call the police.
And this is the problem here with the Aphelios pick. It's shredding the team. That's the triple kill in the Aphelios. Does he pick up the quadruple?
Absolutely insane! Insane damage coming out from Aphelios. 200 years, as other people may say. 200 years in that champion. Absolutely just too much for Valkyrie to deal with. Wow, I did not expect Valkyrie to get wiped that easily. I mean, I say easily. 3 members did die, but wow, still wow.
Yeah, amazing fight there. Definitely didn't go as I expected. The Wukong dive on top of the backline. I was expecting that to go in Valkyrie's favor. Maybe we were wrong about that collector pick, and honestly, it looks like he's just full board an IE. That could be a serious problem for Valkyrie. And although we're only 19 minutes in, it may have hit that turning point where Valkyrie's picks are going to start to fall off, and then playing the map well doesn't mean anything anymore after that fight.
Well, that is also correct. And, regarding the collector, I also failed to take into account that Aphelios just has a passive 30 lethality from his kit, which, makes the collector pick much better on him rather than, something different like an LDR, which, may not actually have that much use over that lethality.
That is true. It does synergize well with that lethality, and of course the extra gold you potentially get from passive on that, as well as the execute, can always be great. We've seen it come
down. Oh my! Everything being used on the Ezreal here. Ezreal goes down. Vex R comes down onto Wukong. Wukong gets out. Silas in the backline here. He's in trouble.
Excellent use of Gale Force as well to get that kill from over the wall for the Aphelios, and that's just going to put more gold in his pocket as they look to grab the Baron here.
Like he's nice. Going to grab his Baron, almost uncontested. I doubt Silas makes it, or maybe they can make a play here. Wukong walking around the back. Looks like he can get a big R off here. Big dives onto the back line. It looks like Aphelios. Oh wow, the Baron goes over to Valkyrie. Absolutely, wow.
It does go to Valkyrie. They've lost 4 members for it though. You can always ask yourself, was that worth it? I mean, the kills and the gold, that's going to be in the pockets of Weeknights after that one, and all the kills going straight over the Aphelios. It's just it's a disaster for Valkyrie in that sense. They have still got Ezreal left with the Baron there. I don't think it's going to do them much well.
It looks like Ezreal is actually in a very dangerous spot right now because, Nautilus could, in theory, just walk up and hook him right here, which I think may... Oh wow, okay, the Lee Sin Q coming down onto him. Yeah, it's just really scary. It's really, really scary as a squishy champion in that position. I doubt the Baron lasts long on Ezreal.
No, I will say this is not how the game I expected the game to go. I genuinely expected Weeknight Warriors here to, like I said, kind of take it away with the map and the mid game. They have played the game reasonably well, but where they've really taken it away is with the team fights, not the map play, not the macro. The Aphelios has gotten 11 kills in his pocket in the last few minutes, to be honest with you. It hasn't been long at all. And I can also say that I was more expecting to see this Yasuo top lane come online. I was expecting the Ezreal pick bot lane to obviously be safe for Valkyrie, and that would mean the Aphelios would fall behind just a little bit, not being able to get his kind of power spikes. He got that CS advantage, he ran with it, he got the quadra kill in that fight. And the rest of the map's just being kind of basic for Weeknight Warriors. But like we said, the Aphelios is running away with this one.
Yeah, it looks like Valkyrie really focused a lot of their attention on the top side of the map. They got the lead on the Silas, they got the lead on the Wukong, and they tried to get a lead on the Camille, but all that is kind of meaningless if those champions cannot shut down the strong side bot lane that they've picked into. Aphelios is one of those champions that it feels absolutely unplayable to go against sometimes with the amount of damage he can pump out, and the healing as well. He does not die in these fights. And he does not have an enchanter. It's not many ADCs can do that.
Well, with picks like the Camille, especially with the aggressive Camille with the Ignite and her ulti, you've got the Wukong coming in as well. He's got a gap closer. He's got a way to get into the backline. And Silas just causing kind of a commotion. Oh, here we go. The Vex ulti coming in there. Will she pick anything up? It doesn't look... Oh, there we go. Very nice use of these.
Ezreal goes down, and the final Baron for Valkyrie is gone.
Alright, looks to be a 1-for-1 there.
The Vex. Well, Camille looking for the dive? Nope. Okay, damage coming down. it looks like, yeah, Yasuo goes down without much of a fight. Felios gets another kill in the bot lane on the Sylas. They do have to back here, otherwise they risk losing their top inhib.
You can see them splitting the map here. They've left Lee Sin in the bot to be clearing that tower. Of course, they want to grab it for themselves. Very interesting play overall. They've got all of the gold. Sorry, Weak Knight Warriors got all of the gold in the Aphelios here. Having the Yasuo in the top lane there, I'm assuming he expected it to be a 1v1 and that they would be going for the Aphelios. Turned it into a 2v1. Maybe a slight misplay coming in as well from Grante, and it was interesting to see, but I think they need to focus their attention on other sides of the map as well. They don't want to let Valkyrie get an advantage again somewhere else on the map.
Absolutely, we do see the the dragon spawning very, very shortly. We'll have to see what Weak Knight does to prepare for that, you know. They do have lots of kills on the Aphelios, but if he goes down, they are in a bit of a dark spot.
100%. I mean, it really just depends on what happens. They're going to have to... Sorry, Valkyrie's going to have to blow a lot of abilities, summoner spells, to get on top of this Aphelios. I don't see him getting caught out just based on positioning alone. He's played that great in the last couple of team fights. They will be at a disadvantage if they lose that Aphelios, but I'm sure they'll be able to pick something up. They've played the rest of the fights great, and it looks like we've got... There we go, second dragon of game 4 Weak Knight Warriors, and that's going to be 2 dragons that are heavily in the favor of the Aphelios as well.
You know, if you asked me 10 minutes ago how I thought this game was going to go, I would have said that, you know, Valkyrie would have soul at this point in time, but, you know, Weak Knight has really surprised me here with the... And especially Viper on ADC. His mechanics with the Aphelios have been, you know, extremely clean, and his score really reflects that.
Yeah, something to note as well, which I've just picked up myself, is that the Aphelios also has the stopwatch, so it's going to be quite hard for them to pick him off. At least, you know, until that gets popped. I don't see Weak Knight Warriors losing a team fight. If they group and do anything on the map, that's guaranteed in their favor.
Absolutely, and it looks like, I didn't know catch this before, but Karma has finally finished her Chemtank, her Putrefier for the Aphelios, so hopefully that does combat some of that absurd healing that he's laying down. But we'll have to see in this next fight. Looks like Camille is at risk of being caught out here, just being surrounded.
It's interesting to see how that healing coming through from the Aphelios as well. He hasn't gone for any kind of dedicated lifesteal, but it's still a problem, and it's good to see that Valkyrie's picked up on that, and they've gone with that Purifier. But there's also lifesteal coming in from the Yasuo with his shield bow, and then you've also got the Gore Drinker coming in from the Lee Sin.
Lee Sin taking a big chunk of damage there. He needs to be careful where he's walking, you know, that jungle doesn't actually belong to them anymore.
No, I'm sure they got quite ahead of themselves after a couple of team fights there. They do still need to remember that. Valkyrie's been playing this map very well, specifically the Wukong and the Sylas roaming together. They don't want to get caught out. They don't want to fall behind when they've got this lead. Gold is exactly equal, maybe 100 gold give or take. Again, they don't want to let Valkyrie run away with it again. I'm sure they probably won't. This Aphelios is just going to continue to become stronger and stronger, and I don't really think that Valkyrie has anything to combat that with.
Well, Valkyrie have set up the top side of the map really nicely here. You know, we've just seen the Baron spawn. They have a lot of vision down in their top side jungle. It looks like that is something that we'll be looking for. It looks like their team is moving up. They're getting mid priority here. Sylas clearing waves. Looks like he's going to go back. I think he gets Zhonya's before the start of this fight. They're probably not going to try force anything until they are all 5 there, minus the Camille.
Next fight will be very interesting. We've got the Zhonya's on the Vex in the mid lane. We've got the stopwatch coming in for the Aphelios, and then we've also got 2 stopwatches on the side of Valkyrie with the Sylas, and then also the Wukong. The next fight will definitely be quite an impactful one. It's quite happening with the lane.
So Yasuo engaging onto Camille, stun comes down, ulti dodges the Yasuo Q, and wow, yeah, it looks like she just danced around him. He could not get enough damage off onto Camille to finally kill her. You know, the Death Stance and the Tavis definitely help her there, but, you know, it's Yasuo. At, you know, 28 minutes into the game, he's gonna hurt no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, she played that fight great. Like you said, when she hits that 2 items, in this case 3 item spike, she kind of can kind of run away with it if she wants to. She did. As you mentioned, those boots are coming in quite useful, especially against mostly based auto attacking champion like Yasuo. That being said, still very interesting to see. I didn't expect the top lane matchup to go like this. I had high hopes for Karate, and from what I've heard, genuinely would have given the top lane in his favor.
Absolutely disgusting damage coming out from the Camille there. Lots of pressure being applied to the bot side here. I'm surprised that Valkyrie isn't actually just using this to go for the using this time to go for the Baron, but it looks like they're opting for top end hit instead.
Well, that's what I was expecting. I had to take a double take at my map and make sure it was still working correctly. I was expecting the Baron, especially before the vision they'd set up for.
Silas in an extremely precarious position here. The dive did not go well for him though.
Perfect timed ability from Viper there as well on the Aphelios. Sniped that killers and came out of the stopwatch.
Nautilus coming in. He has the Swifties, he's extremely fast. Flash R comes down on the Ezreal. The Yasuo ulti is guaranteed. He's dashing onto the back line. Looks like he does not actually take anyone out with him. I'm surprised. There's just, you know, it's really hard to actually figure out who's going to be dying in these team fights with the amount of shielding and healing that's going on. It's been really crazy to keep up with.
Definitely been very back and forth. I'm not surprised that Weeknight's looking to take this Baron here. Valkyrie definitely had the setup for it, and I do think that would have been the better play for them. They had all that pressure in the bot lane, and they could have just grabbed the Baron quite safely, I would say. Or at least looked to kind of fight around it based on how many people were in the bot lane. But based on that misplay...
to get mid lane prio and look for the dragon after that.
Alright, here we go. Potentially another fight breaking out.
Big Wukong on the flank.
Stopwatch coming in for the Aphelios. Still going to get bursted down, and he's gone.
It's like Weeknight just dropping bodies left, right, and center.
Yeah, and that's going to be an ace. And I mean, they haven't lost a
God.
single member.
A clean ace.
Could be a problem here. Aphelios, sorry, Aphelios. Yasuo has just spawned back up. I don't think he can do a whole lot here. He's got about a 30-second window where he's just going to have to be really careful.
I do think Valkyrie just ends through top lane here, if I'm not mistaken. They have a super minion wave with 2 supers. Yasuo is probably just going to get easily dived here with the Wukong R. If I... Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Not much counterplay to that. And the first game goes over to Valkyrie.
It does look like it's going to be that way, and I'm sure they're going to pick up the Nexus here before Weeknight can do anything about it. Not how I expected this game to go. Very back and forth. Valkyrie played the map great. Then it went into the Aphelios carry, but as we mentioned, he had all their gold. So without a doubt, if they grabbed him in a fight and shot him down, it was going to be a win for them, and they showed that there with that fight.
You know, I'm happy about this because I'm not gonna, disclose too much, but I put money on Valkyrie to win this game. And when I saw the Aphelios mid-game start dropping bodies, it really made my heart start going a bit faster. So I'm glad to see Valkyrie coming through with the win here. Absolutely brilliant play for majority of the game. The Aphelios was a crazy mechanical demon that should not be messed with, and should definitely be, on the look. We'll be on the lookout for this guy in the future because insane plays coming out from him.
Yeah, very excited to see what he brings in the coming weeks. But we'll move over to intermission. Hope you guys enjoyed that game. We'll be back shortly.
coming over. I want your devotion, all your emotions in my hand. I want your obsession, every affection, full man. And if you define me, you won't survive me, you'll be there. 'Cause I am the giant, I am the diamond, not a man. Have you ever played with a queen? I can show you what I mean.
All right, and we're back after that very interesting, very bloodthirsty, very back and forth game. So that was, like we just said, very, very bloodthirsty. But we're moving into the next game shortly, which will be, and let me just confirm this one, but I believe we have. Oh, sorry about the. No worries. Okay. So moving to the next one, we have Hot Pot Buffet versus Massive MT1. So we're waiting on them to get into the lobby here. And with this here, we'll have Hot Pot Buffet on blue side. Sorry, correction. We'll have the Massive on blue side, Hot Pot Buffet on red side. And it's going to be a very interesting game to go into. I want to quickly move back to the game we just watched, though. What were your thoughts on kind of how that went? I definitely didn't go how I expected it. But it was very interesting nonetheless.
You know, moving into the game, in terms of reputation, I didn't really, expect any one team to overtake the other, just in terms of skill, because it was my first time watching both of these teams play. However, once the comps got drafted, I kind of leaned towards Valkyrie's side in terms of, okay, I'm going to root for these guys. They had a really solid team comp catering towards the top side of the map, lots of attention paid towards Camille, Wukong, and Silas. And it worked really well for them in the early game. But if, like I said before, I can't not, think about the Aphelios from from weeknights that just borderline gave me a heart attack halfway through that game when he turned around and absolutely murked the entire team. I really did not expect that to happen. Like, with Valkyrie picking, weak side bot lane, it was kind of expected for them to go like 0-0-0 in order to win that lane. They did, however, give over a few kills, and that seemed to make all the difference. Aphelios really made that mid to late game hard as hell for Valkyrie. They had to sweat for that win. And, that's my thoughts on it, essentially. I thought coming into it, Valkyrie would be the favorite, and they were, but not by as much of a landslide as, I initially expected.
Yeah, honestly, it was a very interesting game. I was quite lost going back and forth between the two of them. I had my, not physically speaking, but theoretically, I had my money on Weeknight Warriors there. I expected Corante in the top lane on the Yasuo to really pop off, but he didn't. Valkyrie put the resources onto the Camille, and just into the top side of the map in general, and it stopped Yasuo from getting that lead. The Aphelios managed to come online, but it just, like we mentioned, he had all their gold, and so the second they took him out, they literally just won the game off it. Okay, we are also just waiting shortly to get into champ select for the next game here, so it won't be very long. While we're just waiting on that, though, what are your thoughts going into this? So I'll let you know of the teams here. We do have, as I mentioned, Massive MT1. From what I've seen, their team looks quite strong. And then they're also going up against Hot Pot Buffet, who, from my understanding, isn't necessarily as big or necessarily like a larger org. That being said, they are all friends who I believe have probably played quite a bit together. From what I can see here, they do have some higher ranked players as well, so they're definitely not lacking in that department. But I know you don't have a lot of info on both the teams. Who are you rooting for here?
You know, I thought about that one. I was looking at both the teams. I was looking at their ranks, and trying to decide whether or not I had a favorite moving into this game. But then I looked at the names and I saw Mind Goblin, and it really has shifted my favoritism. Like my favoritism is just on the team that Mind Goblin is on, because that is just one of the absolute best D's nuts jokes out there, and I am I have nothing but respect for it. I can't not go into this game without these guys being my favorite. It'd be a crime. It would be an absolute crime.
Awesome, love to hear it. I definitely have my theoretical money on Massive here. We are going to go straight into Champ Select here, as the teams are both ready. So very surely we're moving into that. Give us a second while we wait for them to start that up. All right, and here we go. So we're going to transition into this one. Okay, now I will say I don't know what to necessarily expect in terms of picks here. The Nautilus ban is, again, very reasonable. We've seen what kind of an impact it could have in the last game. Just 'cause they didn't win with it doesn't mean it's not strong. With that being said, what are your thoughts on these bans so far?
In the last tournament that I was subjected to, Victor had almost a 100% pick or ban rate, so it does not surprise me seeing the Victor ban coming out here. Other great teamfight champions like Na and Nautilus being banned at the same time. It just makes sense to me. It's completely, it just seems completely standard thus far. I don't really have any thoughts on it. We'll have to see what the initial draft is coming out of this. The first 3 members of each team. I'm excited to see what they come up with.
I don't have a lot of backstory here on Pirate Pat, but based off the name alone, I would like to think he might be a GP player. Just pure speculation. GP is one of those champs that's pretty hit or miss for me. If that is the case and they do manage to pull that out, I'd be very interested to see. But I'm just throwing out on a limb here. I don't necessarily think he's going to be picking that. But we'll get into picks very shortly here as they're deciding on their first champion for a Massive. Okay, and the Wukong coming in first pick again. I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was also the first pick from the last game.
Yeah, it was. I think it's going to be another one of those champions that we're going to be seeing a lot of in the coming tournament games. After the buffs, his play rate has skyrocketed, and it's clear to see why. He's an extreme powerhouse in the both top lane and jungle. This current meta, it's pretty expected, and I'd say is the best word to see Wukong in this game.
Yeah, I mean, look, overall, he provides everything you just mentioned, but he also provides the fact that he is a very, very viable and strong flex pick. We know how tournaments and competitive gameplay in general loves their flex pick. It gives them a little more opportunity around the map, around the champ select, and then they can play the map out differently based on that. Diana, again, not surprised. We talked about this one last time. It came through as a ban, and this time it's come through as a pick. I really want to see how this works with the team. Looks like another Ezreal as well, so safe bot side. Diana might be looking to pop off and get those early kills once she hits 6 and really just kind of put the pressure on.
Yeah, Diana, being one of those solo queue dominating champions, I'm keen to see how they plan to make it work in the 5v5. Maybe they pick in conjunction with something else, perhaps like a Yasuo, or maybe an Orianna, just something to set up, the Diana's damage.
There we go, and that's the Yasuo.
Diana Yasuo. Absolutely. Cool.
Absolutely.
I'll be really, really keen to see this, because this is one of my personal favorite solo queue duos to play. Diana Yasuo is just really fun. It feels like you can, 2v5 the game, which I doubt will be the case here, but I think it will definitely help.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting just due to the fact that I mean, based off how early the Diana was picked, they only seen the Wukong. I know when I go to Diana as a jungle player myself, I don't really like to pick her blindly. I know she can be played in solo queue blindly. You can kind of pop off on that champion. I like to pick it more into the squishier team comps, and with the Wukong, with the Leona, it's not necessarily her most favored game there, but I mean, they do have the Yasuo to complement that one.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say that, Diana is there to supplement the Yasuo's damage this game. While she's extremely good in like those 1v1s, you know, mid game, especially if she has like a lead, early mid game, she's really hard to deal with for most junglers. Although, if it is a Wukong jungle, I doubt that he will have much trouble with it. You know, that champion is just kind of built for those skirmishes with the resistance passive that Wukong gets with just, you know, armor and magic resist for people within his vicinity. See a Thresh getting picked. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see a Thresh. I think Thresh has to be like the funnest support to watch.
Without a doubt, without a doubt.
Gameplay.
Watching, playing, looks like we're going to see a cannon come through, so we can again safely assume that the Wukong is going to be jungle with the cannon top lane. Not what I was expecting to see, to be completely honest. Cannon wasn't what came to mind looking at the team comp coming in from Hot Pop Buffet. I was
the Singed!
Something different.
The Singed mid lane! Oh, please. Please take it.
This has to be. I mean, I don't know these players' specialties, but yeah, I figured that had to be a little bit of a joke there. And if they do lock this in and they switch to Azir last second,
oh my! Okay, it looks like they have opted for an extremely heavy team fight comp here. Massive, looking for those massive wombo combos. I am more than happy to see most of these champions get picked here.
Now, this Malphite pick coming in, if they do lock this in, it does make some form of sense going off the Yasuo carry. If they plan to put the game on the Yasuo and really have him run away with it, it makes sense with the Thresh, with the Malphite, with the Diana. They do have a little bit of a wombo comp on their own. That being said, he's picking it into an AP laner. He's picking it into an AP heavy team. I'm not sure it's going to be too easy for this Malphite to come online like you would expect.
Oh man, I'm looking at the ults of all the members of these teams, and my mouth is already going dry. You know, it's going to be incredibly hard to follow the team fights in this game, but I will assure you, I will do my best. Oh my god, okay.
Definitely going to be a fun one. It's definitely going to be, hopefully, another bloodbath just like the last game was, because I personally really enjoyed that one, and I'm hoping that I'll enjoy this one just as much. We will move over to intermission yet again, guys, and then we'll be back with the game once it starts up. Alright, see you guys soon.
feel free, and I just wanna be me. Yeah, I just wanna go so crazy. I just wanna be a freak. Yeah, I just wanna rise to the top. Yeah, I just wanna go reach the peak. So I've been really well focused on success. Hey, y'all will see. Yeah, you won't see that I will get it. Cause I'm really focused, man. I make it with the rap and I just follow my path. I just follow my passion. To me, this is what's precious. Yeah, in my soul, man, I can feel it. So every single verse, man, I just gotta go and kill it, man. I gotta be the kid. I could be the guy taking you wild. I could be the villain, but good as a kid. Lately, I'm painting my path on my way. Yeah, I got no time that I can waste. So I've been sitting in the space. Yeah, making rest every day, man. You know that I go insane. Yeah, I hit you with a bullet to the brain. Let us stop first, cause we going, you going insane. You don't know what I'm gonna do. You don't know what is next. And I'm loving the fact, truly it's making me blessed. Cause I work on my team, no snakes in the grass. And we have been trust in the wind because of the work that we did in the past. Because of the work that we did in the past. When we went to hours, we barely got rest. So I get the realm and we didn't finesse. So I got the feelings that we might be next. Cause when we go in, we win in the match. When we go in, we win in the match. So that's how we do, cause we be the best. We be the best, best. Yeah, we be the best. Whoa. Yeah, we be the best, best. We be the best. Hey, yeah, we be the best, best. Hey, we be the best. Yo, you wanna come and test? Whoa, you want to see we the best? Hey, you don't see that we're the best kid, so I suggest you never really come and test it. But otherwise, I will smack your face like Michael Jordan does with a ball on the basket. Oh damn kid, but you didn't expect it. You never really thought that this could just happen. But now really come on and we pull out with the action. Cause people defeat those they don't get it like.
Baby, it's whatever. All this ever but you long gone, it don't matter. Ride or die, that's been the deal. The light of your body got disappear. But if you don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. No man to tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away to you, the weight of you, of my shoulder. So done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away to you, the weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need a no man. Don't need a no man. Back and I'm better. You had to go back where you came from. Now you're bitter.
Okay,
And
hello,
we
welcome
are back.
There we go. Okay, so it's very minor technical difficulty. We're into the game here. Looks like
teams
it,
opting for more of a, bastardized 5-point defense here. 3 enemies, 3 people moving into the top side. Which one go here?
yeah. So Massive looking for that potential invade. They did get spotted out there. We had more of a 5-point coming from Hot Pot. Got the ward placement looking good here, and they're not going to get that one, unfortunately. That is okay. Alright, and a relatively quiet start to this game in comparison to the last one, which was still quite quiet, but they did look for things in the bot lane.
I think we can expect, lots of 2v2 plays happening around the mid lane. I doubt we'll see much out of top lane. It's going to be, a pretty safe, kind of boring lane to watch, in my opinion. It's going to be Kennen into Malphite. Malphite not really known for his, flashy plays. We'll have to see how it goes, though. Ezreal Thresh being a really, really safe bot lane. I doubt that Samira is going to be able to get in range to kill either of them until maybe Leona gets ulti. So it's going to be quite a quiet start to this game, if I had to guess.
Okay, and we're going to see level 1 skirmish here, potentially even a fight to the death. We got a flash ignite
Watching me eat my words, Draz.
That's okay. So that's double summons come in from the Leona. It didn't really net them too much. Ezreal's going to have to walk around. He might lose a little bit of minion XP, but that's probably not the end of the world for a double sum. That gives Diana the opportunity to look for a gank and potentially get this Ezreal a kill get herself ahead as well, where she wouldn't have otherwise been able to if not for that play.
Yeah, it was I think it may have been a mistake to expend both of Leona's sums during that, because, you know, catch-up XP being one of the most broken mechanics in League of Legends, I don't see it, you know, netting them too much, like you said. We'll have to see how it goes from this point onwards, though.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of catch-up XP, it will come back in. The only opportunity they would have had in a scenario like that was the level 2, but funnily enough, we've actually got level 2 coming in for the Ezreal before it came through for Massive over there, and definitely not getting any advantage out of that at all. Okay, a little bit of a skirmish here.
Kennen just raining damage on Malphite, him not being able to respond. Oh, okay, Leona hits the Zenith Blade onto the Ezreal. Both exhausts come down. It looks like Wukong picks up first blood for Massive. Mind Goblin these nuts, he actually said in the voice chat before he made that play. I have insider information.
Yeah, it would have been amazing to get a mic check on that. Unfortunately, we can't. That was a 2-for-1, and now it looks like they might be looking for something here.
Diana looking for the cross-map play. It looks like Kennen does the blow flash to get away from her. Pretty standard plays so far. I am very happy I got to make that Mind Goblins joke. Diana re-engaging onto the Kennen. She's just getting absolutely smacked around. That HP bar has seen better days.
It definitely has, and honestly, I don't know if she wants to be ganking right now. It wasn't the greatest gank opportunity. She did get the flash, which is great. I wouldn't have expected that myself coming out. I think the Kennen was in a relatively safe position, but she just wants to try and get that level 6 hit. Interesting play coming in the mid lane, but nothing comes of it. Alright, and back to the top with the two top laners just slapping each other around. Diana might look for a regank king, knowing that she's blown the flash. But maybe not.
7-hour nap, taking the initiative to roam when our ADC is not in lane. I really, really wish we could see that from more supports in solo queue. You know, I feel like that has to be one of my biggest complaints, is that, wow, my supports just never roam. They're just AFK in lane. You know, they sit behind the ADC instead of applying pressure in front of them. It's been a really good display of aggression so far from Leona here. I'm really, really happy to see how this is playing out so far. Yeah,
the aggression is amazing. I mean, the play level 1 maybe was a little bit questionable, as we mentioned, but it's great to see her taking that initiative, like you said. Hopefully we see more of it, because it does make for a very interesting game, and it impacts the map a lot more than people would probably expect.
For sure. See a big wave building up in the top lane for Kennen there. It's going to be hard for him to deal with. We'll see if Malphite opts to get a back in this period of time. No, he needs to try and crush that wave, otherwise it's gonna freeze is gonna be hell for him. I'm not too sure he's gonna get the opportunity based on the fact that he's quite low on mana. It may be crashing right now, actually, like that in his favor. An interesting play potentially happening here. So Mind Goblins engaging on the Yasuo, giving him a bit of that damage. Definitely wanted to make a dust stroke there, but that's fine. Yeah, I really had to try hard to stop myself.
And Thresh almost getting caught out there. Nice use of the blast cone. Gets himself to safety, and nothing really blown there.
Yeah, it just looks like a bit of casual bullying coming out from Massive here. You know, Wukong moving in, seeing if he can take that Gromp, but Diana says, no, you cannot take my lunch money. Re-engaging again. Lots of damage coming down on Wukong. He has no flash. He needs to be careful here.
Diana definitely wants to look to go in there, but she just doesn't get the opportunity. Very unfortunate that the hook coming in from Thresh there didn't hit. That would have been, I imagine, a guaranteed kill. Hot Pot definitely would have loved that one, especially based on these comps here. You don't want to let either of these teams get ahead, or it's just going to cause disaster. And nice roam coming down from the Malphite. I'm not too sure what that one achieved, but it's good to see him looking out for his teammates around the map. And a dragon looks like it's being taken here as well.
Definitely. I feel like, you know, Yasuo just has so much more potential in these early team fights, Azir being more of a late game champion. Wow, a lot of damage coming down onto Ezreal here. It looks like Azir picks up the kill on the Ezreal. Oh, wow. Okay. Lots of dashing, lots of damage coming out. It looks like Mind Goblins... Sorry, Mind Goblins! Aha! Massive picking up 2 kills for their team. I have got Mind Goblins on the mind.
It's a very funny one. Would you believe me if I told you that his name is actually 2 eyes? It's Mind... I'm gonna ruin this one for you, but I believe... I could be wrong, actually, but I believe it's Mind Goblin with a capital I there.
No, you can't. You can't do this to me.
I've had to do it to you. I've had to do it to you.
I put money on this guy.
You've made the joke. I had to let you make the joke. We've hit the point now where I have to break it to you. But you know what? It's intended to be Mind Goblin. We'll run with that.
Oh my. Okay, I feel very disillusioned right now. It looks like Yasuo taking a lot of damage in the mid lane. Mind Goblin moving in for the gank here. It just doesn't feel right to say. It doesn't feel right.
We'll run with the Mind Goblin. It's definitely the intended pronunciation. And the Thresh Room coming in mid as well. Bot lane is pushed up. They see that Leona's not on the map at the moment. Thresh wants to look to make some plays here. And it looks like nothing will really come of it. He can help Yasuo get that lane shoved in though, which may work into their favor here. Yasuo with the CS lead, however, is there with the kill advantage. Again, very, very aggressive, very heavy kind of team fighting chance coming in from both sides here. And I'm excited.
No, I have to say, Draz.
Yes.
I have to say, I'm really, really enjoying the fact that these teams are consistently making us eat our words in predictions. You know, we said at the start of this game, you know, it looks like it's going to be more of a quiet one. It might take a little bit of time to get going. And, you know, over the span of 8.5 minutes, 5 kills have been had, a dragon's been taken, it's been a bit of a bloodbath, a little bit of a clown fiesta, but you know what, that's what we like to see.
It's definitely what we like to see, and you got Diana here looking for essentially a gank. That's me and horribly.
Oh, looks like the flash play coming out from the Thresh. Lots of damage coming down on the Samira. Diana does clean her up with the ulti, and the Ezreal picks up the Leona kill there.
That was very well played. She actually hit level 6. Diana hit level 6 there on that gank, so she didn't have 6 coming into that. Perfectly timed on the ability there, and lucky that she was able to get that one off.
We get a hashtag calculated in the chat for the Diana there on that play. I'm not sure if it was, but if it is, I think that's the biggest brain, you know, biggest brain maneuver we've seen thus far this tournament.
Most definitely, and I'm sure we'll have more to come as well. And
it was sad watching this top lane, you know, just Malphite just eating all this damage and not being able to give any back. You know, Pirate Pat, they call him Pirate Pat because he steals... He steals happiness from the enemy team. I don't know. He's a pirate of good times. That's what we like to call him.
That's it. And look, I mean, this is the kind of lane you expect to go into when you look into a champ like Malphite, and that's more so why I expected a little bit of a slower tempo. Obviously, the Diana really wants to get ahead, but she also, especially with her team comp, you would have imagined wanted to get that 6 before looking for too much. But she knows the limits of her champs. She made that gank level 5 and then got to level 6 in that gank, and that was great. She made a couple of other little plays as well, and at the moment looks like Massive's going to try and recuperate some of that gold from that gank and then grab this Herald here. Well, top lane continues to slap away at each other.
So really Massive having a lot of top side control here. They have the top lane prior with just the wave being too far up for Malphite to deal with. They have Azir moving up here. They had the support. It was just, you know, it looked like a bit of a gap in terms of player positioning, and again, it looks like a bit of a gap here. The support gap. It's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit crazy, you know. Leona is moving around the map. She is making plays, and she has now taken the life of the young Thresh on the enemy team. You love to see it. You love to see it.
We made that call a little bit earlier when we were talking about 7-hour nap with the roam that he did mid lane. It didn't achieve or amount to much. I'll let you take over here actually.
They are just walking. They are walking around and they are just making plays. You know, quiet start to the game. I said that is something I said. You can quote me on it, but it has been anything but quiet. I am really, really enjoying the aggression coming out from this team here. Mind Goblins. Just absolutely utilizing his early game power on Wukong, walking around making as many plays as possible. And with good CS too. He's actually managed to out-farm the Diana with, you know, in conjunction with making all these plays. It's been really, really impressive to watch. And it looks like they summoned the Herald here to get that early first tower gold on the Samira.
Yeah, they picked up all the plates as well, so she'll love that gold in her pocket. She's up quite substantially on CS as well, up being about almost 30 there, up on kills. She's got the tower gold. She's going to be a force to be reckoned with. One thing I did want to move towards, I want to see what starts to happen in this mid lane. I don't have a lot of, as we mentioned, we don't have a lot of experience watching these players necessarily play, and I apologize if I get this name wrong, but Lysair, I've seen him around a lot, specifically on social media. We've been active, and he's always around. He's always responding. He's always commenting and liking, and I've been expecting a lot from him. You find that typically a lot of players that have that social media presence and that social presence in general are quite flashy players, and I'm interested to see what they do with this Azir coming forward into this game.
Absolutely, and the dragon going over to now is that hot pot this time?
Yes.
I think we need to change our in-game overlays. We're still running the same teams from last game.
Yes, you are correct. So we will fix that.
Tisk, my brother.
That is my bad. That's okay. We'll get that one fixed up right now.
So Malphite finally has time to breathe in the top lane, finally has time to push out that wave. Actually, psych, Samira is there. Wow, he is not having the best of times. Yasuo coming in with the ulti on Azir. Azir flash E-ing out of there. Pretty standard. We could have expected that with the sums that were available at the time. TP coming out to stop Massive's dive there.
Yeah, and a couple of players roaming up too. 7-hour nap making a great roam, but it may end in disaster here. He's going to probably look for the execute if possible, but also Ezreal coming up, and this definitely didn't go how he wanted it to. And there we go, Ezreal picks up that kill as expected. Massive trying to make plays around the map, and I definitely respect them for that. They're still up 3 gold despite the 2 dragons that they have lost, and great to see the aggression, that's for sure.
You know, that's the downside of aggression. You know, sometimes you overstep, and in Massive's case here, you know, Leona had to bite it for that one, but I still think that it was necessary for those plays to be made.
Oh, definitely. You have to keep going. You can't look at it and go, okay, we've made a couple of plays, it's time to back up now, because that's when you're going to be at your weakest. If that's your strategy, if that's your playstyle, and you're looking to push that, you just got to run with it. And I'm sure we'll see some more plays coming in from 7-hour nap on this Leona, and I'm sure some of them will go very great in their favor.
Absolutely. Looks like Massive trying to gain control of the topside jungle here. Moving in, placing down Vision. Looking for the dive on the top lane. They really want it. They really want this Yasuo to go down.
Yeah, they've been looking at this top side quite a bit. Whether it be the Malphite that's up there, which honestly he's probably not going to fall, or the Yasuo now. Looks like the top side of the map is what they want to take control of here. As for objectives coming up, I don't believe we have anything too important at the moment. Minute 30 for the next Herald, and then 2 minutes 30 for the next Dragon. So not really too much to be getting control here. They've obviously want to grab the tower in the top lane, and it looks like that's what they're pushing for. But a lot of focus on this top lane.
A lot of focus indeed. It looks like Yasuo moving in for the trade here. Leona ult comes down. There's ults being used left, right, and center. We don't know who's going to go down here. Looks like Samira comes down to Diana. Oh, the Kennen ulti coming in from the side. It gets stopped by the Thresh, unfortunately. Leona taking down Diana in that point, in a specific skirmish. And oh wow, there's just a lot of. Yeah, like I was saying before, I'm getting tongue-tied. There's too many big ultis to follow here. Wukong picking up a ton of kills, a ton of damage for Massive. Massive making massive plays. They've just taken out four members of the team seamlessly. Absolutely seamlessly.
And that's the play I was looking for. Like I said, I was really waiting for this Azir to make a play, specifically in that mid game. I'm not surprised at how he came in there. I will ask you, because I'm not much of a mid player myself, and I could be wrong in saying this, and I guess it does make sense against their team, but is that the standard first item for Azir? Because I could be mistaken, but I don't believe so.
You know, I'm not much of a mid connoisseur. However, I do know this. Fighting a Malphite without Leandris as an AP mid laner, you know, Malphite is a tank champion that is mostly hell for AD champions to deal with, but it's not like he makes life easy for AP mid laners, and he really needs that Leandris. He really needs that Leandris. Otherwise, you know, Malphite is just probably not going to go down in these team fights.
Oh, without a doubt, I definitely respect the purchase, and I understand the reasoning behind it there. This Malphite could be, as we mentioned earlier,
that being said, you know, Kennen can't really utilize Leandris as an item. You know, he'd just much rather building. Oh wow! Okay, it looks like Kennen is actually going down here. Yeah. Oh wow! Okay, he gets it up. No, he does not. He does not.
Yeah.
As Real said, psych. It looks like Wukong goes over the wall. Diana looking for the engage. R comes down onto Azir. Azir pops his Zhonya's. Thresh says, "No, you don't, buddy. Come back in here." Wow, another great play. Another great play. Massive is starting to look like they're on the back foot here after some of the early game plays.
Yeah, so the early game plays definitely looked like they had been going in Massive's favor. you look at these fights here, and Hot Pot's picking up a couple more kills, but if you look at the gold, Hot Pot's still behind by about, what was that there, about almost 3,000 gold. Actually more than 3,000 gold to be exact. That being said, they are going to pick up their third dragon, which is going to be quite big for them. That puts them at soul point at only 17 minutes into the game. And
well,
I know...
what they say, Draz? Wealth does not equal health. Wealth does not equal health, you know? While they may be behind in gold, they are still making plays. They have the objective control. It's looking to be much more even than we initially expected.
Definitely with the way that the early game went. I mean, I don't think anyone would be... I think anyone would be forgiven for, in this case, thinking that Massive was going to kind of run away with it based off the way they played the early game. That being said, they still have a lot of opportunity here. They're going to look to pick on the Thresh.
Leona ult coming down onto Thresh. Wukong ult being spent as well. Thresh popping the stopwatch is not going to save him though. The kill goes over to Samira for Massive. Just exercising their early game dominance.
And they're going to place their second Herald of the game, which is just going to net them even more gold here. They're more than likely going to drop this mid tower. And they're only getting poked out there, but it's not really that big of a deal for her. The rest of her team gets this mid tower, gets more gold in their pockets, and wealth doesn't equal health, but it definitely equals a dominant team in this instance with Massive, and a big play coming in there.
Shuffle from Azir into the Kennen ulti. Wow, there's no getting out of that one. Massive with another massive play on the Hot Pot buffet. Say that 10 times fast, I dare you.
And that's like exactly as I said earlier, we've seen it once before, we've seen it again. The big plays coming from the Azir, and that's honestly who I expected to be making these big plays this game. I'm glad I wasn't wrong on that prediction, because he would have been 0 for 2 in this game on the predictions if that were the case.
Absolutely, whose mans is this on the Azir? Lesa, active on Twitch and, Twitter, and even more active in this game. Yasuo getting a bunch of damage down onto the Kennen here. Ulti comes out, another tornado hits. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's taking L's. Taking L's, this guy.
That's alright though, he gets out with his life, and I mean that's all that really matters to him at this point. There's not a lot on the map to be playing for right now. They do have the dragon.
We do see Baron spawning in 15 seconds, however.
Yes, and Baron coming up in about 15 seconds. No one's really looked to set up vision around either. I mean, there is a control ward for the side of Massive, but there's no kind of defensive or offensive wards placed on either side of the jungle for them. I don't imagine either of the teams are necessarily thinking about a 20-minute Baron. That being said, they might be looking to set up for it now, so that may be the play coming forward.
I think they're just looking for opportunities, and the absolute second that they see one, they're gonna be going for it. But it's all about whether Hot Pot gives them the opportunity. Let me see here. They are trying to gain control of this top side, moving in here. Leona, she may get caught out by the Thresh. No, it does not look like it. Samira just, has a bit too much presence. Yeah,
I don't
another collector. Another collector. I can see it. There's 3 squishy champions, but the Malphite, man. It looks like it's going to be Azir's job to kill Malphite this game.
Most definitely. And I mean, as well as that, they've got the Wukong, who's got the Sundara. He's a little bit of a tank kind of bursting champ there. I wouldn't necessarily say he's a tank shred, but he does a lot against them, and he's not going to be too worried about the Malphite.
Well, if Mind Goblins does get a Black Cleaver with this game, which I assume he will, it's, pretty standard build path for Wukong, the Divine Sundara, the Morna Mortius. Okay, Flash E coming down from Leona onto the Ezreal, and the ulti comes down onto him again. Yeah, wow. Okay, looks like Mind Goblins may be in trouble here. He goes down. He goes down. Oh my! Kennen moving in, ulting. Okay. Yeah, Yasuo going down as well. No, he's not. Oh my god, this is really hard to follow. Malphite coming in with the shortest ulti of the century on the side.
And he still picks up the kill with it, so respect to him for that. That was a very back and forth team fight again. It has been, and I mean, same thing with the game 1. Fights were very back and forth. Very enjoyable to watch, but definitely very unexpected with the way that these are going. I can say with certainty that any of the games that I've played in recently have usually just been a one-side stomp, whether it be my team winning or my team losing. Don't usually see this kind of back and forth action that we're seeing today, especially with a 5k gold deficit coming from Hot Pot. They're still punching well above their weight here, and all the power to them.
Very, very flip-floppy. I'm keen to see how they respond to the Dragon Soul spawning in, roughly a minute from now. Oh, sorry, 20 seconds from now. Oh
Yes.
my, I'm looking at the wrong... Absolute wrong timestamp there.
So this will be coming up here. I don't think Massive can afford to give this one away.
Mind
and-
Goblins moving in on the Thresh. Very, very long Leona E coming down. Thresh hooking in the cannon. It looks like the cannon's gonna eye as soon as he comes out of being stun locked. Oh my god, there's this. It's a bloodbath. Everyone dying left and right. Bodies are being dropped.
and Hot Pot
Thresh
looks like
missing
they're gonna...
the point blank hook onto the Leona there. It looks like. Yeah, wow, okay.
Hot
looks
Pot are
like
gonna pick up the
almost
soul,
an
I can only
ace.
imagine. Yeah, and the Samira's really can't do much here. She's just gonna take the Krugs and call it a day, I guess. And that's
We see young Lucas on the Samira hit. I think he can do it. I think if he opts for the 1v4, we could be surprised. He could be a bit of a connoisseur.
Look, Samira's definitely one of those champions. I don't think it's gonna happen this game, especially not with the Malphite and the Thresh and just the overall tankiness that they have.
No, I'm surprised they don't actually move towards the Baron here, and instead they opt for the mid lane turret. I could be wrong, they could be going for it afterwards, but it looks like they're looking for the reset. A bit of an interesting play here, but, maybe they might be a few steps ahead of me.
That may be. So, I mean, look, the game is skewing in their favor now. They do still have about a 2.5, almost 3k gold deficit, but that doesn't mean a lot to them. They went, they won that fight. They've picked up the Dragon Soul, which probably equates that gold, if not puts it in their favor anyway, with the 4 dragons versus the none. And I'm very impressed with how Hot Pot's managed to bring this one back in. Massive definitely looked to be the favorites in the early game. They definitely had the potential to run away with it. I still think this Azir pick is going to be detrimental coming into the next couple of fights. I think if he can pull off some amazing plays and they can stop the Yasuo from getting I think it was a 3 or a 4-man ulti in that fight, then they can look to make it a decent play and maybe get the game back in their favor.
Absolutely. Now, I think Yasuo is just really looking for that 3-item power spike here, because, with the Infernal Soul, I don't think it really... it really matters too much unless he has the IE, because they're just going to get out damaged by the sheer team fight power that Massive has with the cannon and the Azir, like you said. Looks like Leona making another engage here. Cannon looking for the R. Thresh flays him away. He says, "Sight, not today." That was a. Okay,
single man
Malphite
Malphite.
from Malphite, but sometimes they have to do it to him. Okay, Diana
and I
looking
mean-
for the engage. Big R from the Diana! The Yasuo just not being able to kill anyone because of the exhaust, but it was a big R from Diana.
Yeah, and a really great ulti coming in, a defensive ulti coming in from the Azir to just push them away from what could have been a horrible play. And
Incredible. Mind Goblins going in for the signature Goblin play. It's not quite working out for him. No, it is. He's killing everybody.
that's alright. And the Samira picks up another kill as well.
This game is hell.
They may look to, I'm sure they're going to look to grab the Baron. I think, personally, Hot Pot should have taken that one when they had the opportunity. They went for the mid tower, and yes, they got that little bit of extra map control and gold in their pockets, but they've pretty much just forfeited a Baron that they could have taken off the map at the very least. And I'm sure Matt is going to be quite happy grabbing this one. They've brought that gold lead back up to about 5k, a little over 5k there actually, and this game is just honestly back and forth. But we've seen Hot Pot come back from these 5k gold deficits, which you typically don't see, so I'd say it's not over for them just yet. They still have that soul, they still have that team fight potential as well, with the Diana, Yasuo, and Malphite kind of combo there. It'd be interesting to see how the next couple of fights play out.
Yeah, absolutely. Malphite's kind of scaled into a little bit of a monster here. He's barely, he's almost 3 items, and his, 404 is going to be an absolute pain. Just to put it politely, for Massive to deal with in these upcoming fights. So, I'm keen to see it. I'm not counting out Hot Pot yet. They have the Dragon Soul. They are competing with Massive and Mind Goblins, my new favorite League of Legends player. But I'm still keen to see how it all goes down.
Without a doubt, oh, here we go. We have a flame account now.
You see Cannon ulti coming down. It looks like the Malphite is keeping in. He's been stopped.
He has been.
He has been stopped. It looks like Leona R'd him. The Azir ult coming down onto Malphite. All that MR is being shredded away by the Leandries and the Void Staff that Azir has picked up. He's itemized extremely well. He has itemized to take down the Malphite, and it's been working. It's been working.
Without a doubt. That was a very interesting interaction there, and I'm not sure if you've seen it yourself. If we do get an opportunity here, I may actually attempt to showcase something we've been working on. This should be a little replay on that interaction, just to get your opinion on that one. I'm not too sure if you've seen it, but with the Azir ulti coming in and then the Samira passive coming in on top of that, it was an interesting interaction. But I don't think we're going to have time for that replay with all the action happening here.
Mongolins claiming the mid inhib for Massive, and Kennen taking the bot lane tower. Yeah, it looks like Massive just collecting leads across the board. Almost, almost 9k they're ahead in gold. Health doesn't equal wealth, but wealth does equal wealth in this, in this
scenario.
situation.
And while we've got
money.
the resets coming in, we are going to attempt to run this replay, so give us a second. He has been.
He has been stopped. It looks like Leona Ard him. The Azir ult coming down onto Malphite. All that MR is being shredded away by the Leandries and the Void Star that Azir has picked up. He's itemized extremely well. He has itemized.
He has been.
They're setting up for the Elder Dragon here. I really, really hate when games go to the point where Elder Dragon is a possibility, because it really, really boggles my mind as to which team's going to come out on top. Looks like Mind Goblin's going in with the R onto the Ezreal. Ezreal goes down. Thresh comes down. Thresh gets killed by Samira. Malphite with a big ulti, big Azir. Ulti coming through. Everyone's dying. I need a doctor. I need a doctor, man. My mind is crumbling. Oh
that
my
was a
God.
quadra kill. It looks like they're going to run into the end there with that. Honestly, again, ADC is just really showing their power in this tournament. As we can see with the last game with the Aphelios, who almost won for their team, and now we've got the Samira coming in here. Haven't really talked too much about Lucas specifically, but that was an amazing play from him. Very well played fight, and very great game back and forth. I do think Massive definitely had the kind of control over this game for the most part, but without a doubt, Hotpot really punched above their weight, like I said, and they really showed that you can't rule them out even when they're behind.
Yeah, my main thoughts coming away from that game is I can't wait for the patch when Riot makes everyone just a little bit tankier, because all of a sudden it looks like one team is winning the team fight, and then one Samira Q just wipes out 4 people on the enemy team, and oh my God, while it might be fun to watch, it is not easy to follow for some people.
Without a doubt, and that's right. And we're going to get back into the intermission here while we find out what's going to be happening with the next 2 teams. Just to let you guys know who will be coming up next. So for the final game of today, as we mentioned before, will be 3 games played. The final game on stream today will be Avalanche Blue versus C9 Krog Academy Superstars. Look, my predictions have been a little bit back and forth. That being said, I am almost confident Avalanche Blue is going to take this one away. I'll be completely honest, I don't know who C9 Krog Academy Superstars are. None of the players in their roster stand out to me, but I do know Avalanche Blue has a lot of experience together, and I think they're going to take this one away. With that being said, we will switch into this mission, and we'll be back shortly.
See you later, guys.
Yes, I'm just losing my mind again. I tell myself to breathe in, but the darkness I can see the end, and it's mine has got me thinking. Sick and tired of feeling, so sick and tired of dreaming, 'cause I always wake up sick and tired of believing that this pain will ever end. Oh, I've had enough. I You used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with. This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall too deep, will you be there when I'm ready to save me? A superhero in your sleep. A superhero in your sleep. You called my soul when I was falling. You moved the clouds to stop me from hitting the ground. In every goal there was a meaning. For this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall too deep, will you be there when I'm ready to save me? A superhero in your sleep. A superhero in your sleep. Oh, oh, and when I fall too deep, will you be there when I'm ready to save
Okay.
Hello. Hello and welcome back to the Vespertine Vantage Cup. We have just come out of our second game with Massive versus Hot Pot. And wow, I, I'm really enjoying the current state of League of Legends right now, and let me tell you about it. So basically, there's this really awesome thing that's happening with the game where everyone does like a million damage with one ability, and people die just like that. So when you're watching a team fight, you could think it could be going one way that entire time, and then all of a sudden, everyone in the enemy team is wiped out. And that's been pretty consistent across both the games we've watched tonight. You know, especially with the Samira last game and that last team fight. Oh my God. Absolutely great performance, but wow, it's hard to follow. On to you, Trace.
Yeah, no, look, it's and I'm sure people can see that too. It's been a great turn of events so far. The two games have been awesome. I've loved watching the fights happening out there. With all of that, it's been a turn of events, that's for sure. Back and forth constantly, a lot of skirmishing, like we mentioned. But look, that's what makes for a fun game. That's what makes for a great viewing experience. And I'm happy that it's happening, and I'm excited to see how the third game brings to us.
Absolutely. Now, who are the teams coming into the third game, may I ask?
Yeah, so coming into the third game, we have Avalanche Blue, as mentioned, and then they're going up against C9 Krug Academy Superstars. That one's a mouthful. Try saying that one 10 times fast. With that being said, I have, again, theoretically, I'm not betting here, but I have my money on Avalanche here. So that's what I'm thinking. What's your thoughts on this? I'm sure you've probably heard the name Avalanche pop up a lot. I'll be completely honest, I have no idea who C9 Krug Academy Superstars are. That being said, they're here, and I'm sure they're going to give us a nice display.
Like, as I said before, I'm not as well versed with all these teams as some of you may be, being, more prominent in the esports scene, but Avalanche does ring a bell. I am expecting some good things out of this game. It looks like a very high-elo game, everyone being diamond to challenger. I'm expecting to see some insane levels of macro and just like insane mechanics coming out of all these players. Hooper 1 in the top lane, I see Challenger. I'm not sure what champions they play in the top lane, but I'm a top lane main myself, so I hope that they play some carry champions. Maybe we can
I
see
will.
some interesting plays coming
I
up.
will cut you off there. It looks like they haven't formed their team properly yet. So Hooper One's actually an Avalanche player. I believe he plays ADC for Avalanche. So he'll be the ADC. Correct me if I'm
And
wrong
there you
here,
go.
and I'm sure you might not necessarily know this number here, but when I did have a look myself not too long ago, we're looking at current rank, I think 13 player on the server. So this will be a very interesting one to see. I can't wait to see what he pulls off. But Hooper is a very high ranked player on the server, and I have seen the name around quite a lot.
And I see. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. You know what? You've covered that on pretty much all bases. So that's I'm just excited to see the game. To be honest, I feel like it's almost insulting of me to cast this game with a lot of these players being well above my level of understanding. Like these are some genuinely really really high ranked players, and I'm really excited to see how this game goes.
Yeah, so as we can see here, stream can't, but as we can see here at the moment, so Avalanche is consisting of Grandmaster, 3 Masters, and the Challenger. So it's going to be a very interesting turn of events. I'm really excited to see this team, and I think they may be one of the favorites for the tournament. That being said, we are going to, sorry, just to break it up here, but we're going to switch into an intermission while we let the teams get themselves sorted just a little bit longer, and then we'll be back in Champ Select.
See you guys soon.
Let's run away. We're falling hard to find the answer. Will this life we live be all that matters? The life of dreams is moving faster, and no one knows the constant fear of what comes after. And we'll never know. It's weighing me down, got my feet on the ground. Let's hide away from the lies and run away from the night. Let's run away. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it all now. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. See the evil eye every time we pull up. Talking about the fakes, but that's not us. You know you can call me Dundada. Baby, we gon' pull up to the opera. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it all now. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. Who that hopping out the Beamer? It's a party when I see ya. Fell in love with my demeanor, and she love the way I treat her. We gon' pour it by the leader. Everybody watching now, I'm blowing off the meter. All these people talking Frank Sinatra through the speakers. If they got a problem, cause in time he got a feature. So I'm popping off. Now I'm hearing talks about falling off. I could never. All these people that been dropping off, I could never. All that talking just to top it off, I could never. Got a bag, homie. Yeah.
I don't mean to brag, homie. Know a lot of people hate on me. Get the fuck up out my way, homie. Yeah. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it, oh no. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. See the evil eye every time we pull up. Talking about the fakes, but that's not us. You know you can call me Dundada. Baby, we gon' pull up to the opera. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it, oh no. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. Ain't nobody pop where I'm from. No attention, now these hoes falling like it's autumn. Richie Palo on top, that's a fucking problem. Russian cream, suede seats like we hit the ladder. And I hold on to my pride, cause you know where I'm from. And I grip that bottle tight, I'ma sip it till it's done. I'ma take that corner wide while I'm screaming red rum. You the Bonnie to my Clyde, now we really on one. Now I know you wanna party all night, mix the Henny with Bacardi. All night in that Giorgio Armani. All white, and I know you love that vodka with peace Sprite. Can I hit it in the morning? Cause I'm flying, man, I'm soaring. I'm just going through the motions. There's no telling where we're going. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it, oh no. I'm a playboy like Sinatra. See the evil eye every time we pull up. Talking about the fakes, but that's not us. You know you can call me Dundada. Baby, we gon' pull up to the opera. Baby girl, I know you wanna hit it, oh no. I'm a playboy like Sinatra.
Oh darling, if I had bought you flowers, would you still be here by my side? Yeah, I thought this moment could be ours. While I'm walking only through the night, you can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him. You should fucking stay with him. Darling, if I had bought you flowers, what if you stayed at home that night? Yeah, I've been lonely counting hours while I'm getting blinded by the light. You can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him. You should fucking stay with him. Break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart.
A broken glass while I'm thinking in my head. I mind my own, I don't even break a sweat. Oh, one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's sad to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights. I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. Untold stories, they were left behind. Silent breeze, I got nothing on my mind. This madness is insane. Why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's sad to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights.
Okay, and we're in, and I apologize about that delay there. We have had, I'll just be transparent with you guys, pro draft due to some small issues with Champ Select. So the picks here will be in potentially a little bit of a strange order. That's okay. We will still be going through the picks and bans here. So it won't be as much of a surprise to me, maybe a little bit more so to Fuzz. So maybe let him talk about the picks just a little bit more as they come through. And also the bans as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it looks like Nautilus has been pretty consistent, pick or ban throughout most of this tournament, and most notably the games tonight. So nothing out of the ordinary so far, as far as I can see. A LeBlanc ban coming through, something that we haven't seen. Toppy picking Na. Wow. Okay. I mean, I haven't seen a Na get played in quite a while, so I'm excited to see what he's into. Nami being, a pretty well established support in this current meta. It makes sense to see her here.
Yeah, definitely, and hopefully they don't have any issues here with Champ Select. I do believe they're attempting to make it as accurate to the pick ban stage on stream here, just so everyone kind of gets the idea of what the picks were.
Another Wukong game.
I'm not surprised on that one either. It definitely seems to be a pick or ban, mostly just a pick, but a pick or ban potentially going to this tournament.
If they pick Aurelion Sol here, I don't think there's much I can. Yeah, okay, good. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I see Aurelion Sol so rarely that I couldn't actually even tell you what half of his abilities do.
Look, without a doubt, he's a very strange pick. And looks like they might even be putting on a little bit of a show, flicking through some champs for us here, which is always great. We love to see it.
Like a very diverse champion pool here. Wow.
Oh, and there we go with the lock-in on Xin Zhao. Now, I do really like Xin Zhao as a champion. I do believe he's just one of those champs that's like ever so slightly overtuned. He's relatively simple to play, and he just provides a lot to the team, so you can't really go wrong with a Xin Zhao pick.
Man, Xin Zhao has to be like one of the champions that raise my blood pressure like way higher than like any other champion in the game. It's a combination of the fact that he can just 1v1 anybody like between the first minute of the game and like the 20th minute of the game, coupled with the fact that I can't actually kill him from range later. It's a really fun champion with a really fun and interactive kit.
Now, I do want to move the focus towards this Lucian. We spoke briefly about Hooper earlier. I can say myself, I've seen Hooper play a few games. I've also seen Assist Ping actually in a solo queue game, not my own, but I was spectating it. And I'm very excited to see how these two players play together. I haven't seen them together. I have seen them separated. And I really want to see Hooper come online with this Lucian. I want to see what this challenger I believe top 15, like I said earlier, player is capable of, especially in a tournament game where he's playing with a support that I can only imagine he's quite confident with.
Yeah, so when you saw Assist Ping in that game, how did you get any preconceived notions about him? Like, is he a decent player in your opinion? Well, of course he's a decent player. He's Grandmaster, Master Tier. But how do you think he'll go working in the 5-man?
I'm expecting a lot of roams. In the game that I had seen specifically, I believe he was playing a Renata, and he was making that champ look easy. So I'm excited to see what happens here. Also, just a notable pick here is the Malphite. I'm very interested to see how that goes into a team comp that has 3 AD carries, or AD kind of champ-based carries, as well as the Orianna obviously being the discrepancy there for the carry. We will move over to intermission just while we wait to load into the game, but we shouldn't be too long, guys. And if you got anything out of that, Fuzz?
Absolutely not. Let's get that intermission on the way, and let's get into the game as soon as possible. I'm really excited to see this one, so...
Awesome. We'll be back with you guys shortly.
Visions of you, with you. I'll be irritating. Visions of you, with you. Tonight, I'll be irritating. I'll be irritating. I'm in the night. Let's spark a light and see where it leads. Just you and me, hiding behind the curtain. A world so uncertain. Come and see where this leads. The circus.
All right, and we're back coming in here. We've got the 2 teams up. C9 Krog Academy over on the right here. And then we also have Avalanche Blue playing from blue side. Very fitting of their name here. We see the 5-man invade, but the Nah has spotted them out here.
The Avalanche opting for the 5-point defense with, most of the champions being really spread out, and, C9 taking the more aggressive approach, trying to look for that early kill, see if they can get one of their carries a little bit of a nice juicy gold lead at the start of the game.
Yeah, and it looks like Avalanche might just be taking advantage of it. They know where all 5 members of C9 were. And so they've looks like they're maybe opting for either to take the blue buff here or maybe even look for a pick depending on who comes to check it.
It looks like C9 here have had a bit of an issue in champion select where a couple of their players weren't quite in the position they were supposed to be, with Malphite being on the bottom of the scoreboard where the support should be. I'm not sure how this happened, but
I do see that. I'm not too sure if that's something that we can fix, unfortunately. They did do a... I can say from being in the lobby before the game... Oh, here we go, and it looks like Avalanche is going to grab that one away. Shreddy grabbing the blue buff off them, and also blowing the Ignite from the Nami.
Wukong making a really greedy play here, looking for Xin Zhao's bot jungle. You know, they have the knowledge that Wukong's here. I can only assume that Xin Zhao moves into his top side to try compensate for the loss. Which is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. He doesn't want to lose out on too much. They've got the vision over on that blue buff too, and so they know that nothing is there for to be a threat to them. They see everyone on the map. Wukong's more than likely still in his bot side, which he is. And, oh, we see a flash engage there.
Big engage from Rakan. Looks like Summon Spell is being used to try to take down the Nami here, but it's just not enough. They just don't have that quite enough damage because Rakan is still level 1 for that engage.
Yeah, most definitely. And I could be wrong here, but just a little bit of insight on what might have happened with the teams. Maybe they got a little bit mixed up with where they should have been purely because of the pro draft. I believe that might have been what happened, which is not very ideal for the in-game here, but hopefully everyone can bear with us on that. It's a little bit out of our control.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of vertical jungling going on here. The first time we've seen it during this tournament, but, you know, it's not unheard of in most of these 5v5 games.
Okay, we'd have a little bit of stutter there, but everything seems to be okay. And we've already got assist ping on this roam, which is what I was expecting. It's what I was talking about. Hopefully we get the camera running down there in a short while.
What are your thoughts on Rumble mid as a pick?
My thoughts on Rumble as a champion, we'll start with that. I think he's a very interesting one. He either works or he doesn't, and I mean, that can be said for every champion. I'll stop here then.
Wow, big play coming down here. Looks like... wow, okay. Yeah, okay, Rakan does go down there. You know, that kind of stunned me for a second, that W. I really expected that to hit the Xin Zhao.
I'm a little bit surprised at him flashing over the wall. I expect aggression coming out of Rakan, coming out of assisting here. That being said, I think maybe they weren't on the same page when it came to comms there about kind of going in. He wanted to go in, the rest of his team was a little bit on edge. They did pick up the 1-for-1, but they did give the first blood away to the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, Avalanche making a little bit of a blunderous play there, but, you know, mistakes happen, and even at this level, mistakes still do happen. With both buffs going over to the Gnar in the top lane, I feel for this Malphite right now. He's about to endure some pain that he hasn't felt in quite a while. I really do have a distaste for Gnar in the top lane. It's one of those champions that is just unbearably annoying to play against.
Yeah, I mean, he's very annoying to play against, but at the same time, you're playing Malphite, so you've kind of got to expect something like this. No matter who you're really playing against, you're gonna get bullied out, especially if they get a lead. And I mean, looks like he's almost gonna pick up that kill there. He very much did get that lead with the double buff that he grabbed in that first, sorry, not the first blood, but the return kill that he picked up. And it looks like he was trying to go for that kill there. He doesn't quite get it, but that's okay because he's gained a lot of lane dominance off that.
So it's Toppy giving the Toppy to that Malphite. Oh boy. Now back to your thoughts on Rumble as a champion, because I really wanted to hear your opinion on this, because personally, I think Rumble mid is one of the most underrated picks in League of Legends. You know, his ulti in the mid lane is so useful for those early game scrims, you know, like looking for the dragon fights and anything of the sort. Like, it just gives so much control, so much area control, and yeah,
that was a bit of a blunder
picks up the kills.
Coming in from Avalanche there. I don't think he should have gone over that wall without an escape plan, especially considering the prior that C9 had in the bot lane. Definitely looks like Avalanche is maybe not on the same page today. I have no doubt that these guys are amazing players, and like I said, I've seen it before with my own eyes. But we can definitely say Toppy's giving Malphite a hard time in the top lane. Hopefully they can get their coordination on, though, because it's 6 minutes in and it doesn't look like it's going too well just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I did not expect him to trade his life, or to attempt to trade his life for that first dragon. You know, it's not typically something that's considered worth in most games. It looks like Rumble ult coming down here onto the Orianna. Orianna ult drags Zins out into the tower. The kill goes over to Orianna. Avalanche finally picking up a kill. Hopefully this can you know, compensate for those blunders that they've made early game.
Yeah, going back now specifically, since we are talking about the mid lane there, and we have to wait again. Again, we're getting a lot of fights happening in the early game, and in yet another game.
And you gotta flash the Mastery 7 when every time you ult on Malphite. It's just one of those champions. It's a part of the kit. If you flash Mastery 7, you actually do more damage on Malphite ult. It's insane. Not many people know about that one.
I have heard about that one. Now I can't confirm or deny it, but it's definitely being heard of. So hopefully I can finally get to my thoughts on this Rumble mid pick. Unless we're about to break out into another fight, it may just be a skirmish, or we may see Rumble pick up the kill here.
Quite a lot of damage coming down onto the Orianna, but it's just not quite enough. Orianna picks up another kill.
Very unfortunate.
Wow.
So that leads into my answer for the most part, and maybe it won't. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Now I'll have to stop you there, Draz. Looks like there's another dive coming down in the top lane. Malphite going down, Toppy gaining another kill.
Maybe I'm just not meant to speak about this this Rumble pick. Maybe it's part of
the god said no. The god said no.
Maybe we'll move on from it. I'll give a really quick summary. It looks like we might have time. It's a very scary pick. That's all I've got to say. We're not going to bother going any further anymore.
Well said. Well said.
And it looks
We're
like
ulting the Crux.
I don't know. Did he use the ulti in the top lane, and that was second? It definitely was second cast.
I didn't see it, but I am aware of the fact that we have a replay mechanic.
We do. I don't know if we're gonna get it in time, due to the fact that it wasn't clipped on the fight. We can have a quick look. Nothing. And it looks like
ulting the Crux.
I don't know. Did he use the ulti in the top lane, and that was second? It definitely was second cast.
I didn't see it, but I am aware of the fact that we have a replay mechanic.
We do.
Well said.
And it looks like
just shove every single mid wave and then do as he pleases. Walk to objectives such as Rift Herald and Dragon, and it's really hard to contest him because of the Rumble ulti. Big dive going on in the bot lane. It looks like, you know, Rakan was really thirsty for that kill. Xayah did have to pop ulti to get away from it. And
she may not be out just yet.
She does still have flash there, so that wasn't quite as dire as it looks, but still. Okay, we see the Rumble ult coming down here, lots of damage going down. Hooper picks up a kill on the Xayah, while popping both summons in the process, and another fight breaking out in the top lane. Nah, using his ulti on the Malphite, and Malphite ulting away as that can be expected, you know?
Yeah, look,
it
was a great play by Hooper going into burst there. He walked back into the Rumble ulti, and that's what killed him. I mean, he may still have been dead, but that was maybe a missign. Maybe he didn't spot that one on the ground due to being focused on going in, which is a little bit unfortunate, but he does still pick up the kill. He is about 30 CS ahead, so that's going to play in his favor on top of the kill. And like I said earlier, I definitely think that the Avalanche bot lane is gonna take this one away.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's just like
maybe
Avalanche has a really aggressive bot lane evolution pick. Wow, okay, Rumble coming down. So much damage onto the Rakan. You can't tell me this pick is bad. Alright, Wukong ulti coming out, and you know, they finally take Rumble's lane.
Okay, that was a very interesting turn of events, and I don't think we're going to have any more action. I do want to try and get back to the replay, because I missed a lot there with the two fights happening. So as long as nothing's going on here, we will wait, because it looks like a fight may be about to break out. Potentially just clearing some vision. Teams look like they're going to back up. Let's go.
A really aggressive bot lane evolution pick. Wow, okay, Rumble coming down. So much damage onto the Rakan. You can't tell me this pick is bad. Alright, Wukong ulti coming out, and you know, they finally take Rumble's lane. Which has a really aggressive bot lane evolution.
I'm not too sure. Was that a 1-for-1 trade in the top lane?
It was.
It was, yeah. So a lot of action happening around the map. Yet again, another very kill-heavy game. We're at 7 to 4 kills in about 10 minutes into the game. But we do love to see it. It's definitely a treat.
We do love to see it. And you know what else we love to see, Draz? Hydration. You know, casting these games, it's gotten my throat really parched, and I don't think I'd be able to get through it without my my glass of Glitch energy drink right here.
Definitely.
Use code Vespertine for a discount.
You can use code Vespertine for a 10% discount at Glitch Energy. You can see the link to that one in our description there. And also thank you to Glitch Energy with the replays brought to you by Glitch Energy. They're an amazing partner to have here. And we see some more kind of skirmishing going on the top lane, kind of slapping around like wet noodles. I think it's got to that point where Malphite's not too worried. He's bought his boots. And it also looks like C9 may be looking to grab this dragon here.
They can, you know, there's not really any doubt in my mind that they get this uncontested. The jungle's on the other side of the map. I think they kind of, you know, expected that they'd be losing the dragon there. They're kind of, you know, playing the game a bit slower. Their champions, you know, a little bit more on the scaling side, you know, with the Orianna. But that being said, their bot lane still really aggressive picks with the Lucian Rakan. I'm excited to see how far that goes in terms of aggression. I want to see a really fed Lucian in this game, because that's always really fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the enemy bot lane, Xayah is only 76 CS at 12 minutes, which is not a good look for her. And also Rumble in the mid with only 75 CS. You can really see the skill difference coming in purely just through how they're laning. I mean, both laners are ahead, both in kills and in CS. With that being said, we may have a fight about a breakout. Rumble ult comes down. Right, Nami gonna miss her ulti there. Lucian popping the ulti, getting a kill.
Big damage coming down onto Lucian. Unfortunately, my dreams have been squandered. There will be no fed Lucian in this game as the kill goes over to C9. Wow, good bubble coming down onto Rakan. They pick up 2 more kills.
That's not how I mean, again, we've seen this theme repeatedly, and I'm not surprised at this point, but that's not how I expected that fight to go. It looked like it may have been in Avalanche's favor, and then it just got turned. Nami initially missed her ulti, and that wasn't a great look, and they managed to bring it back, and they picked up a couple of kills there.
You know something, Draz? You know, we may be failing to remember this, but these are some of the best players on the server, you know, being in Master, Grandmaster, Challenger, and while we may think a player may be good, they may have their reasons for why it isn't, you know?
Of course.
Another dive coming down in the top lane, Malphite biting it once again. He's just not having a good game this game. Getting a bit of the direst treatment. Sub 5 CS a minute.
Yeah, I was about to mention, like, look, the Malphite pick typically doesn't want to die in the top lane, but it's not the end of the world if he does fall behind. That being said, falling behind as 1 and 3 with, as you mentioned, sub 5 CS per minute, it's a very bad look for the Malphite, and I honestly don't think that there's going to be a point where he's going to come back into this game. All we can expect to see from him is maybe an ulti from Fog of War that might impact the fight.
Big Rumble ult coming down on the bot lane. So much damage being laid down so fast. That pick, oh my god. I'm gonna keep you know, sucking this pick off for a while, because it's got to be one of my favorites. Really underrated in my opinion.
Definitely a very impactful champion. On the contrast, though, you can see the Orianna coming in with, she's gotten her Mythic now, stacking up her tier, so she's going for the tier build there, and she's going to provide a lot into the late game team fights as well. She's got that CS advantage, as we mentioned. I do think she's going to start to shine a little bit more than the Rumble.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see what Toppy can do with the amount of gold he's been given in this game. You know, he's you know, Nah when ahead is nothing to be scoffed at. He may be, you know, a tank, I'd say, you know, is on the borderline between being like a tank and a bruiser champion. But, yeah, you definitely cannot ignore him, especially with the amount of kills he's got in this game.
And I mean, on top of that, he's quite strong in the side lane, but he's also a very strong teamfight champ. They have a lot of opportunity what they can do with all that gold, depending on what C9 attempts to do with the map. And we may see an invade kill happening.
Coming in here with the R, coming down onto the Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao getting a beautiful R, knocking away the Rakan as soon as he goes to the engagement. Just isn't enough. And the Rumble ult claims Orianna's life. They keep going. Rumble just walking through, burning them alive. What can they do? Hooper trying his best to escape, but the Malphite cheese wheel comes down and takes him out as well.
Wow, what another turn of events. Look, Avalanche has I'd like to say they have the aggression that they need to win this game, but it doesn't seem to be working in their favor. We do have Toppy in the top lane, just completely... Honestly, I hate to say it, but gapping this Malphite here. He's approaching a very... Oh, he has just approached the double CS numbers, and he may be approaching the triple CS if this continues to go, which is just not a good look. He's about to be 100 CS up on the Malphite, and... I'm gonna say we can see here that Avalanche is still about 4.5k gold ahead. I'm gonna say a lot of it is in that top difference. So the team fights might not go as it looks based on the gold there.
They're now coming down, just absolutely bullying this Malphite into submission. There's not really much he can do at this point. I'd actually like to start see a poll in the Twitch chat as to how many people think that Malphite will get above 100 CS before 20 minutes. I think that might be a fun little survey to do. I'm
not too sure if I can start that one up myself, but it'd be interesting to see some yeses and nos in the chat, potentially.
Yeah, type some yeses and nos. Is this toxic?
Look, it's the nature of the competition, the spirit of the competition. Some people are going to have bad games, some people are going to have good games. I'm sure they'll come back next week and they'll definitely show a little bit more in the top lane. But this game, as we've mentioned, it is a little bit of a gap, and we're about 9 CS out from being 100 up.
Absolutely, and Avalanche claiming their first dragon of the game, Hextech Drake. I like Hextech Soul. I have to say, like the portals have been really fun to use, and they really set up some like more interesting team fights in my opinion with the angles that you can create with them. You know, getting that nice flank. You know, as like say maybe you pick Kennen in the top lane, you're really looking for that flank with your ulti. And the Hex Gate just sets it up for you. I think it's a really good addition to the game.
I actually do agree with you. I mean, I know we had the Hex Dragon come in, we had the Chem Dragon come in. They really hit the mark with the Hex Dragon, and they completely missed it with the Chem. But I'm glad they kept the Hex around.
The Chemtech Drake had to be one of the worst additions I have ever seen to this game.
And look, nice attempt at trying to steal that there with the Xayah. I don't think that was ever going to work, especially with the, I believe the Eye was still up as well. I could be wrong there, but that's okay.
You know, I've seen Wukong in the jungle 3 times tonight, but I still, you know, Mind Goblins is still just fresh in my mind. I can't look at the other Wukong jungles and feel the same way as I do about him.
Maybe we've found what the true meaning of Mind Goblin is. Maybe he's
in my mind.
He's in your mind. Maybe he was in the enemy mind too.
Maybe he was. Maybe that's why they won.
And,
okay.
Skirmishing coming out in the mid lane, but nothing too serious. I'm actually
clearing waves at this point.
I'm surprised not seeing this Lucian kind of pop off a little more. I have no doubt he has the skill for it, and he has the CS advantage. He has the item advantage, being a half an item up on top of the Xayah. But not a whole lot coming through there, and I guess maybe the rest of the picks around the team are maybe preventing it. Lucian popping the ult.
See, now looking for the flank, I don't think it was quite good enough of a time to engage, and that's probably why he didn't do it. It looks like they're just opting for the safe play and dropping the Herald here.
Yeah, they're gonna pick up the tower. They're gonna make that gold gap quite marginal. We're at 7,000 gold ahead. Again, a lot of it is on that Gnar, but also, as we just mentioned, we've got a 50 CS difference between the ADCs as well. And another 40 CS difference between the mid laners. Avalanche definitely showing their skill here.
20 more seconds before 20 minutes, and Malphite is at 90 farm. I haven't been looking at Twitch chat, but if anyone has been dropping their yeses and nos, I want you to know that you're about to find the answer to your question very, very soon. And it looks like the CS is climbing, but it is not enough. It is not enough, unfortunately.
It's not enough. We hit the 20-minute mark, and unfortunately, we didn't reach that goal. That's
unlucky. Unlucky, Malphite.
And I mean, look, that's the thing when you pick Malphite. Like we mentioned, he has that kind of expectation going into lanes that he might fall behind just that little bit. He's a very good teamfight champion, and that being said, Gnar is a nice champion to match him in that sense. But you cannot fall behind this much. It puts you behind and basically out of the game, as we've seen. He's pretty much just been running around attempting to look for ult. He has contributed a little bit, but it's just no way he wants to be at this point of the game.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about Malphite. he can be an ult bot, and that's okay because his ult is an insane teamfight tool. You know, he could be 0 and 11, and he can pull off one good ulti, and it will save the game. Absolute. Oh my god! It was just domination coming up from the rumble there. Insane damage coming from that champion.
No, without a doubt. We mentioned kind of how insane that pick can be, and yeah, I'm not surprised here.
Nah TPing for... Oh no, that was Malphite TP for the Baron here.
So you have Avalanche approaching from below, and that's Lucian going to pick up a kill.
Looks like big engage onto the Xin Zhao. Malphite misses the ulti, unfortunately. Looks like Rumble is in a spot of bother. The Orianna behind him gave him a bit of trouble in that team fight.
And this is where Orianna starts to shine. Rumble's done what he can here, and if the Orianna can continue to kite around like she is doing, it's going to be just a 1-5 Avalanche.
Extremely well spaced by that Orianna, that fight. She managed to hold off 3 members of C9 with just her ball placement. It's actually absolutely masterful.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine we're about to see a Baron here. It's not too much worth looking at, so let's maybe have another look at that Orianna play.
That team fight.
And this is where Orianna starts to shine. Rumble's done what he can here, and if the Orianna can continue to kite around like she is doing, it's going to be just a 1-5 Avalanche.
Extremely well spaced by that Orianna, that fight. Trouble in that team fight.
Yeah, and they're going to recall and reset with that one.
Well said. Now we see them moving towards the Hextech Dragon now. You know, if C9 pick up this dragon, they will be on the soul point, and you know that kind of looks like their win con this game, as far as you know, as far as win cons go, as they do scale quite well with the Rumble and the Xayah being like more late game damage champions, but you know, Orianna and Na are going to be a big problems for that team moving forward.
Look, both teams definitely have their late game advantages. They have their win cons. They have kind of a goal on what they want. It looks like they are going to pick up the dragon, which will help them with theirs. I honestly just don't think, based on team comps and based on the fact that Avalanche is only 10k ahead, and I'll stop there.
Wow, big team fight coming out here. Looks like Rumble goes down straight away. Wukong ult is... Wow, okay.
A lot of displacement. Ensues. Looks like the Na's just going to basically clean everything up. He's an
Some of his
absolute
ultis, people dropping bodies left, right, and center is just incredible.
And
looks
that's
like
gonna be
Floyd
an
comes
ace.
down onto Nami. Yep. Wow. That's a very, very fast victory for Avalanche here.
It looks like they may be just memeing it up a little bit as well. I'm sure they will be able to end the game here, though. And,
you know, I said before, like, is this toxic? Talking about Malphites, yes. But this right here is toxic. This is a bit of disrespect. Good
a little bit of
old-fashioned
disrespect coming through. They definitely know that they have the skill. They deserve this, and I'm sure they're going to finish here, and there we go. So that's going to take it away for the third game of the night. Avalanche, like I mentioned earlier, before we went into Champ Select, without a doubt, were the favorites coming into this. I'm very happy I got to see them play this game here. It may have been a little bit of a difference in skill between these two teams. Maybe not. Maybe C9 Krog Academy will bring it back next week and show us something a little bit different. But I am honestly really excited to see Avalanche going forward, and I want to see them match up against some of the other teams, like potentially Weekend Warriors. So hopefully we can get to the finals, and maybe we'll get a little display there as well. Might be great with the top teams in the other bracket, which we will see next week. So keep an eye out for that. Same time next week on Tuesday. We will move over to our casting screen. Give us just 2 seconds if you want to quickly just pop your cam on there, Fuzz. And we'll move straight over. There's no point going into an intermission here for you guys. We'll just get everything finished up.
And here we are.
All right, give us 2 seconds to get that one sorted. Okay, so that pretty much concludes the first day of the Vespertine Vantage Cup Season 1 Plat Challenger.
I have to say, I'm really happy for Malphite to finally reaching that 100 CS at the end of that game. He got exactly 100 CS. He heard me casting from inside his game, and he thought, okay, I really need to. I teach this guy a lesson. I need to show him I can do it, and he did. I'm proud of you.
Awesome, great to see. There you go. He's very proud of that one. Look, everyone has their rough games. Like I said, I'm sure they're going to come back next week. They're gonna learn from this, and they're going to come back hitting a little bit harder. With that being said, amazing games tonight. Honestly, very, like I said, bloodthirsty games, constant back and forth fighting. I'm sure it's been a pleasure to watch. I hope you guys have enjoyed everything as well, and it's been a pleasure to cast. So I hope you guys enjoyed that part of it as well. Do you have any closing thoughts for the last game and just the cup as a whole?
We saw absolutely insane displays of skill tonight. I know, we've been memeing it up a little bit in the casting for these last couple of games, but I really want to emphasize that these are some of the best players on our server, and it's a real treat to see them go head to head with one another. And I'm just excited for next week. I want to see more games. That's kind of my closing thoughts on the situation.
I definitely do as well. I hate to have to end it here. We have hit the end of the third game. We're approaching the 3-hour mark, which is what we kind of scheduled for the broadcast. But it has been an absolute pleasure. And I can't wait to bring it back next week. And maybe me and maybe someone else will definitely hit you up with some interesting casters regardless. And again, I hope you guys have enjoyed having us here because we've enjoyed having you all. And we will, with that, conclude the first day of our tournament. Hope to see you guys next Tuesday.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.
Gone somewhere and dyed my hair now. Wanna be alone. It's much to bear and you don't care, and I won't play alone. I got you in my sight. I keep all the words you said to me. I get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, now you'll beg me please. Hey, now I stay away, you were never meant to save me. Now I stay away, I don't hear you say you're sorry. Hate I even loved you, hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I kinda fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I kinda fell in love with you. With you, I cried with you, now wanna be alone. I lied for you, I tried for you, you wouldn't play alone. I got you in my sight.